Hi there, my name is Phixfox and welcome back to Heroes of Might and Magic 2. Folks, I'm very excited to be able to be here with you today. I was happy to be able to stream much sooner than I usually am. Usually I'm a couple hours behind, and that makes me feel so very bad for the folks that want to watch me not in the middle of the night. And so I'm very happy that we get to actually make sure that we're here at a reasonable time for some wonderful folks out there. Lord Shadowing, nice to have you in the chat. Stisen here as well, absolutely. Looks like they made you an associate. Lord Shadowing, they did. So I had some issues in this last week where I was unable to stream. I had some issues with my account. And while I was in there and I was talking to support, they said, oh, hey, look, looks like you've gotten the requirements to be able to go for the partner program with Twitch. They said, do you want to make that process happen? I said, I don't know. And they said, well, here's some of the things that we can do and some of the benefits. I'm still working on specifically making sure that I have things like actual chat emotes for this channel, making sure that we have bonus features for folks that want to watch. There's an awful lot that I have to learn about making sure that I can make sure that you have a wonderful experience. And quite frankly, there's going to be some growing pains. Not if, but when we have growing pains, please understand that I'm doing my very best and we will get on board at the quickest and earliest convenience. In the meantime, though, let's have no shortage of fun gameplay. That's why we're here. That's why we're here. We're here for the fun. We're not here for the other extra bells and whistles. We're here because the game is so good that it's worth spending some real time with. And today is going to be a playthrough of a map by someone who we kind of know. Stisen and his kids love Heroes of Might and Magic 2. And the map that we're going to be playing first and foremost today is from his kids. And I'm very excited to dive into that. In all honesty, I'm going to make sure that we try to make sure that they don't have their privacy ruined in any way, shape, or form. But Stisen did want me to get the opportunity to provide some feedback and play through their user-generated map. And so with that being said, folks, let's dive right in. This is going to be Good, Bad, Magne. Lord Shadowing says now people can throw bits and subscriptions at you. I guess so. That is one of the things you can potentially do. No obligation. I'm just happy to be here. You don't got to do that, but happy to be here all the same. If you'd like to do that, that's another way you can support the channel. And Vammy says, hello, Phixfox. I'll be having you in the background today as I'm playing Heroes 3 with my family. There is no better thing you could be doing today, Vammy, than that. I am thrilled to hear that you are playing Heroes 3 with your family. Have so much fun. Vammy, you and your family, all of my good vibes go your way today. Nobody do the Armageddon and retreat combo. That's how friendships are ruined. Okay, so we're gonna make this on impossible difficulty. It looks like we are gonna be playing a 3-player map. We have red, yellow, and purple. And I'm not gonna add any additional features here. I think that we should just stay here as the red player. It looks like we do not get to choose which faction we start off with. I have to tell you that I took a quick look into this map and I know for sure that Stisen and his family love the sorceresses. So for that being said, it's gonna be them. It's pronounced Maune. You're gonna have to spell that one out phonetically for me, Stisen. I'm so sorry, and my apologies to your kiddos. If I get something wrong, I do apologize. I'm doing the best I can with my English education. Maune. I am sorry. I'm doing my very best here. But this is an expert map, and it's gonna be victory condition, defeat all heroes and towns. We cannot lose a specific hero. Let's see. Maune. I'm so sorry. And his babysitter, Silvia, I know that one, have joined forces to turn their neighbor siblings against a greater evil, the Skeleton Masters. And so with that being said, this 3-player medium-sized map, let's dive right in. Looks like we start off as the red sorceresses here with 1 castle, 2 castles, 1 castle, 1 town. We have the castle of Magic City here. It looks like it is sorceresses. We do start off with the level 2 mage guild. Nice to see the cold ray, the magic arrow, mines, dispel magic, haunt. This is pretty good. I'm liking the look of this mage guild. Nice that Stisen's kids decided to start me off with a statue. An extra 250 gold per day goes a long way. Lord Shadowing says ads. Hopefully there's no ads going right now. I apologize. I tried to make it a 30-second ad every hour. That's the lowest I could go on that, so I do apologize for that. Ads are done? Okay, ads are done. Again, some of those growing pains as I try and figure out how Twitch works with ads and without ads. Maybe I should do like the pre-roll B kind of a thing. Whatever works best. I'm gonna have to figure that out in the future. So give me your feedback on what will work best for you as a viewer. I'd prefer to make sure that this is the best experience for you more than anything. We do have Grand Elves. We do have no other creatures, no sprites, no druids, no dwarves, but grand elves go an awful long way towards me having a real good time. Here on Impossible Difficulty, we have no resources whatsoever. And folks, look at this. We cannot get the treehouse or the cottage, fenced meadow, or the red tower. We're going to have to be going all for the druids and for the elves. That's what this is going to be about. At least we do have a well. So this starting castle is not too bad. Can we upgrade the Mage Guild? We can. And so if we can get some nice spells, maybe that can counteract the loss of some otherwise wonderful troops. Chris says, the real Phixfox, long time no see. You've been playing far too late for me in UK time. I have. No, totally understandable. And so that's why I'm really happy that we get to be here today. So I'm all for it. I'm all for making sure that we're here as early as possible. Today just worked out that we could do that so very, very well. And Lord Shadowwing, pre-roll ads are horrible for discoverability. Yeah, I'm absolutely happy to take your opinions on what'll work best there, because again, I want to make sure that you guys are having a good experience here. Whatever works best for you guys, let me know. I'd love your feedback. We have a Phoenix Tower in this bottom right town of Portsmouth. That feels pretty wonderful. I don't know if we can upgrade this town to a castle. We can. I may just try and pump as many resources into this bottom right town as possible. I see no reason why I ought not to. Maybe we even make the long trek from this area down to the bottom right. We do have two heroes. We have Silvia the Sorceress. This is the babysitter, which is wonderful. I love that. I love the self-insert here. And then we do have Maune the Warlock, level 1. He's got 12 Hydras. That's pretty good. He starts off with the Advanced Wisdom. Good. We have a Spellcaster. And Fireball, 30 points of damage. And we can cast a couple of those before we are out. I do see a couple Peasants. I got a couple of spare resources. And folks, let's just kind of hit this going as hard as we can. I don't know how important resources are going to be, just because this main castle here cannot really be upgraded. But again, if we can get the castle upgraded to the south, I think we're gonna be feeling really, really nice. These peasants are simply experience, 58 experience at a time, and we're gonna go for that all day, every day. I don't know how important experience is versus gold. Knowing that we have 0 gold, we are gonna go for the gold over the experience. Soul Invictus, woo, caught your stream. Absolutely, thrilled to have you here, Soul Invictus. So Soul Invictus, Chris, Lord Shadowwing, Stisen, gang's all here, everybody. We are missing tons and tons of people. Don't get me wrong on that. There's a lot of people who I really appreciate being in the chat, but hey, we got stuff to do, and when Phixfox doesn't have a very consistent schedule, it makes it a little bit difficult for other folks to plan on being here. So happy when people can catch me whenever they can. 77 peasants, no problem. And this 4-leaf clover being guarded by, a gold requirement just doesn't feel like the play for me. We're gonna pick up a glorious victory here, and that's gonna be another 68 experience via these peasants. And folks, we see Vesper the Warlock. How tough is Vesper the Warlock? It's a question for me. And here's the thing. I think that my 12 Hydras absolutely obliterate him. The concern is that if he has spells, maybe that's not a win for me. The Fireball can potentially damage those centaurs, but it looks like we have a purple castle, Misty City right next to Magic City. Do we be aggressive? I feel like we need to be aggressive here, because the alternative is just much worse. Aggression in small maps like this just feels like the absolute way to go. So I am, rather than trying to collect these resources, I'm just gonna go straight for Vesper and hope that this works out. Do I need to split my forces? I'm gonna go with 2 stacks of Hydras. Multiple stacks of Hydras. Let's do multiple stacks of Hydras, just like into 5 stacks, and just go from there. And let's make this fight happen. It looks like, we have to fight a horde of peasants to get to Vesper the short way. We're gonna do that. Peasants wanna run, we're not gonna let them. A little bit more gold because sure, why not? And folks, hopefully we can take Misty City sooner rather than later. Glorious victory, but a couple of losses. Let's take a look at this. Okay, let's see, E-Parade. Oh, I barely missed anything. E-Parade, very nice to see you there. It's thrilling to have you here. Chris says, I always go for the gold over the XP. I'm not sure that that's a good strategy. I think on impossible difficulty that the gold is critically important. So I think that not always is that the best decision. I think that here, though, that is the best decision. Really, I feel like it is. So Chris, I'm with you in this boat. I think that there's a lot of good argument for what is optimal in any given situation, though. And that's really what makes the game so great, is that it's not always just one absolute best strategy that will win the game for you. There's lots of different ways to defeat your opponents and claim victory. And so if there was only just one strategy that would work, I'd feel pretty bad. And I'm glad that we have more than just that at our disposal. There were Hydras here. I've made a mistake because now their Hydras are going to get so much more damage off on me. than I would prefer. I think I'm just going to let these 3 Hydras brawl with these 4. We're going to lose this head-to-head fight, but I think that this is actually going to keep more Hydras alive. Less AoE damage feels like it's going to be the best thing for me. 3 down to 2. I'm going to skip on this gentleman. I'm even going to move... Oh. This Hydra's closest. These other 2 are going to come up. I should not have split my Hydras like this. This was a critical error, actually, and I'm really not loving my decisions here. I'm a big fan of sticking with my decisions and, you know, suffering for my own consequences. Don't get me wrong, I'm all for accountability, but I wish I could get this one back. This one feels a little bit bad. Let's see, Stisen, say mouse, but with an N instead of an S. Maune, and then double it. Maune. Maune. Okay, is that it? That's what I'm going for, Stisen. From here on out, we're going with Maune. Chris says, be aggressive. Okay, you got it. Math Obsessed, very nice to have you in the chat. Good day to all you boys. Math Obsessed, hope you're having a great day. Very nice to see you there. And it looks like we're spreading our damage around a little bit. It's time to just be as aggressive as possible. Wow. You have an enemy with Hydras and you decide to split up your stacks into as many as possible. The only good thing I have going for me here is that we're not going to take one additional round of retaliations simply because, oh gosh, simply because we have no retaliation, but neither do they. And so, how many Hydras do we lose? Clearly, way more than we should have. Folks, Phixfox admits that he made a critical error. It's going to be, it looks like a total of 4 Hydras that we lost. I guess overall that stacks up okay compared to their Hydras, but I'm betting that we were pretty close to that 75 hit point threshold. And we might have avoided disaster there. Basic mysticism or the scouting. Tell you what, because we have the fireball spell, I think we're actually this early in the game, scouting just feels better, but mysticism might be critically important. The fact that we got +1 spell power as a knight though is awesome. Wait, is he a knight? No, we are a warlock, so that's going to change our skill progression. We are not going to focus on attack skill and defense skill, even though this is, you know, Sir Boniface or whoever you'd like to refer to that portrait as. We are going to focus on the spell power and the knowledge. So interesting there. That is something I missed out there on. And Troyan, several of the elves and a few of the greater druids. Interesting. I wish I'd known that she was there. I might have considered picking up some more of these resources. Then again, maybe not. I'm not too sure what the best play is here. I'm going to go south, try and cordon her off from these free resources, and then we're going to plan on taking Misty City as soon as possible. If all of a sudden tomorrow the defenders are a stack of dragons, I'm going to feel pretty silly. There was probably a chance I could have gone from here straight into the castle and taken that on day 1, and maybe that was a missed opportunity. Maybe that's what the map designers had in mind. And if that's the case, whoops, my bad. Okay, we don't have enough gold or resources to purchase anything, and so folks, we're going to call it the end of day 1. On to day 2. We do see some aggression. Dr. Cruel, what in the world? Phoenixes, dragons, oh my goodness. I don't think that Portsmouth is going to last too much longer. That's pretty cruel. That's pretty cruel indeed. Chris says, Real Phixfox, have you ever played Stellaris? I just saw that you were playing Stellaris on Discord. Chris, I saw that that was the game that you were playing. I'm just started getting into it. Very addictive. So much so that it's a toss-up between watching you and playing. You win as I don't see you often. I appreciate that. No, new games are always interesting. I've been diving headlong into the Factorio game. If you're familiar with Factorio, it's an excellent kind of base building strategy, sandbox more or less builder. And so I'm a big fan of people finding new games, and I hope that Stellaris is fitting the bill for you. I've heard good things about it. I believe it's a 4X game. We've talked about 4X strategy games on this channel quite a bit, as we do pick up the Traveler's Boots of Nobility. And so if that's the kind of game that's right up your alley, I hope that it's everything that you hoped it would be. So that's excellent. Let me know how you like Stellaris. Discovering a pair of beautifully beaded boots made from the finest and softest leather, you thank the anonymous donor and add the boots to your inventory. Folks, Silvia is fast. She's got the 6-speed elves. She's got the 6-speed druids. She is speedy. I hope that that's the way that she is in real life. Just running all over the place. Fast as a whip. Unstoppable, as it were. That's always my hope, is that, you know, my kids are running around doing the, just having a ball, having a blast. I always look at young people and I'm always impressed with the amount of energy that they seem to possess. You've come upon a mercenary camp practicing their tactics. The mercenaries welcome you and your troops and invite you to train with them, +1 attack skill, but more importantly, I'm heading up here so I can transfer most of these troops over, and the boots for that matter. Who's my lost condition actually? I just realized we have to take a look at that. I think it's actually Silvia. I think Silvia's the lost condition. If Silvia's the lost condition, then she should actually take the majority of these forces. I'm gonna assume that, I feel like it was Silvia. We're gonna double check in just 1 second. Okay. Vammy says, man, the snakes are tanky. 75 hit points, and they just walloped on us again and again and again. And I'm feeling pretty sheepish because of that. It was not the best. Lose the hero Silvia. So it is Silvia that we cannot lose. So there you go, folks. Silvia is the babysitter, but she's also the main hero in this story. That doesn't mean that you are not both equal in my eyes as far as trying to keep you both alive. My goal is to keep everybody here alive, but it's nice to know that one of us can retreat, and it's not Silvia. Okay. Let's plan on making that trip in just a moment here. We do have the Stonehenge. Feels necessary to pick that up. Another hero wouldn't hurt, but with only a limited amount of gold, I do think that the Druids are better in that case. Folks, I don't think that there's any reason to purchase this one Phoenix. Even if we could, I don't think I would purchase this Phoenix because it's going to immediately die. And so unfortunately, I think we're going to have to go on to a new day. And we donate one more Phoenix to the enemy's cause. That feels pretty bad. Feels pretty bad. Okay. Looks like a Warlock in disguise. Yeah, math obsessed. Totally a Warlock in disguise. Absolutely. And let's see, Chris says Stellaris is a 4X game, well executed. It has pretty much all of the sci-fi tropes you would expect. A bit overwhelming at first, but once you get it, it's great fun. Perfect. That's the way we like it. Stisen says, well, you finally figured it out. Why do you think that Maune chose Silvia's capture as a lost condition? Kids will be kids after all. That's true. I think that we can beat lots of peasants with one elf. Let's just make that happen. This is so sad. One single grand elf is going to destroy all these peasants. That doesn't seem fair, but it does seem canonically accurate. I'm not going to make you sit through this entire fight. We're going to end the battle, but yeah, that's going to be a pretty easy victory there, I do believe. Let's head back to Magic City. And we do have some forces we can pick up. I really hope we can pick up enough resources to get a 3rd level mage guild. I do think that that'll be critically important. In the meantime, though, let's get the marketplace. If we wanted to get the Crystal Garden, we could, but it would just be for looks because we don't have the opportunity to purchase sprites. We don't even have a treehouse. Oh well. Oh well. But yeah, I really like the in-depth games. Stellaris sounds intimidating with how much information there is for a new player. On the one hand, I'm up to the challenge, but there have been games in the past where it felt like, oh man, there's so much to learn. I'm never going to be good at it. And so it's got to be hard for a game designer to kind of meet that barrier to entry and make it work in a good way. Because if you make the difficulty too tough, you're going to lose a significant portion of your audience. And yeah, I would always worry about, making something that's compelling and you can throw hundreds of hours into, but at the same time, making it so that it's simple enough that you can immediately start to enjoy it. This Hydra, these Grand Elves, we've got a couple of lightning bolts, 4 lightning bolts at 50 points of damage each. I don't know if this is a good fight or not. Assuming that this is just a few Hydras, folks, I think that we're going to fight this fight, and we're going to hope for the very, very best. Oh, wait, look, there's actually halflings. I'm very glad I saw this. At the very last second, even though it's going to make my morale be much worse, I do see a halfling hole here. That's going to give us a group of halflings with the desire for greater glory. 34 additional halflings. I think that actually makes my decision much easier. Let's go fight this fight. Okay. Yeah, you pronounced Maune's name perfectly. Wonderful. Wonderful. And I'm so sorry. Not if, but when I still get it wrong in the future. Just know that I'm doing my very best, my guy. Doing my very best. So I need to hear things. I'm the kind of person I need to hear things first before I'm able to actually get things right. I'm kind of a visual and auditory learner more than seeing things written, especially when it's in a language that I'm fairly unfamiliar with. So I've always wished that they had a better emphasis here with American education in encouraging other languages, and they just don't. They just don't. It's generally you have to take at least one class for some amount of time, maybe 2 years worth of a foreign language. In my high school, they offered French, they offered German, and they offered Spanish, but that's pretty much it. Occasionally you can find a teacher who will teach Mandarin Chinese. My brother ended up learning Mandarin Chinese and then used it in his exploits, not around the world, but in Texas anyway. Very interesting how, you know, language can be seen as a barrier and it can be seen as an opportunity. And hopefully I get the opportunity to spend some time with some great people. Folks, this is not good. Was that Resurrect True or just Resurrect? That has to have been Resurrect True. Folks, we are getting obliterated. Folks, this is not good. Silvia, no! Silvia, no! She's magnanimous. She is noble. She is doing everything correctly. And she's just got a bad person calling the shots for her. Clearly, this was a major tactical error. I mean, I'm not saying that I shouldn't have known that there was Resurrect True on the board here, but my word, even if Resurrect True wasn't a thing here, this was clearly going to be a mistake. Oh, Silvia, what have I done? I am so sorry. Well, folks, I believe as we cast one final lightning bolt, I believe that we are going to end up restarting this this scenario. Yeah, I think we are. I think that there's no doubt because you have lost the hero, Silvia. Your quest is over. That's embarrassing. I'm sad. I'm sad. Okay, but the good thing is that in life, there's often opportunities for us to have a redo. And that's what we're gonna do here today. We're gonna have a redo. So we're just gonna load right back in. And this time, I think I'm gonna be able to bypass this fight. I wonder if I can just make it straight to that castle. I wonder if I can just rush right by. Oh no. Can I rush right by the enemies and just get into the castle? Group of peasants want to follow me? Sure, why not? Folks, I can get right into the castle, and if I do, I think that actually changes my fortunes drastically. Yeah, because now I have a level 2 mage guild. I've got a castle I can mostly build up from scratch. Green Tower sands notwithstanding, but this feels immediately better than it did, and Silvia is still safe on the other side of this stack of peasants. Whew. Okay, my bad. Let's see. Vammy says, been playing a lot of Heroes Might Magic 1 and 2 lately. Bringing the tactics from there to Heroes Might Magic 3 is certainly making this game interesting. ... interesting. I have such a problem going from one Heroes game to the other because they play differently enough that I'll forget certain tactics and tips. For example, the skip function didn't become a thing until Heroes 3. And it makes a big difference. And if you just forget to use it, you're gonna struggle. You will struggle. And so I hear you loud and clear there. Hopefully your 1 and 2 tactics are still enough to claim ownership, domination, as it were, over the rest of your household. That's my hope for you anyway. Okay, I think that this is all we need to do for today. We're gonna plan on leaving tomorrow. I don't want to get attacked by Aerie and lose Silvia. So for now, let's just end turn and see what the enemies here do. Let's see. Stisen, by the way, have you wondered why there are so many peasants standing around the starting towns? Attention to detail. There are a lot of peasants. Why are there a lot of peasants? Why are there a lot of peasants? We have Misty City, we have Magic City, we have peasants. Are they experience? Are they meant to just exemplify the struggle of the human spirit as we try and make our way in this wild and crazy world surrounded by other people? I don't know. That's interesting. I have now officially noticed because you pointed it out to me, but you're gonna have to spell that one out for me. Help me out here just a little bit more. I think that we leave a few Hydras here. I think that with the left turret and a right turret, maybe less Hydras can hold on to this town. And then maybe we're going to be able to carry on. As we do some resupply, peasants can also stay. I think that so long as the turrets are actually able to shoot some enemies down, this should be just fine. Okay. And stacks like this, sure, why not? We'll pick up the 1 extra Hydra, move them back into the army in just a moment. Again, I don't know if this is the absolute best thing for me, but Hydras are such a powerhouse of a unit, I would hate to leave them behind if we accidentally ended up in a sticky situation. Ariel had Resurrect True last time. Do we risk it now? I don't think so. If she wants to attack us, I think we let her, but I think that we have to hope that things go a little bit different, and maybe the best thing to do is pick up these free resources before the enemy gets their hands on them. So Silvia, let's keep her safe. We can't lose Silvia. She's very, very important to this game. Let's get the gold. And oh, the boots. Let's make a mad dash for the boots. Group of peasants, we're up to 138. Folks, no, we're going to be just short of the boots. If Airy goes and grabs those, I'm going to be very, very sad. I do think I still have the lightning bolt. I do. I've got the lightning bolt plus a couple of extra spells. I trust that Silvia is going to be safe. Silvia, I believe in you. You can do this. Okay. Let's see. Stellaris is actually a very basic game once you get the mechanics, not like Distant Worlds 1 and 2, which have a monster amount of mechanics. Anyways, getting off subject, are you planning to get the new Heroes of Might and Magic era, Olden era, when it comes out? Yes, I do. I'm not planning on fully switching over to that, but I am recognizing that that's going to be a unique opportunity for me to do something new. And it's just something I'm excited for. That's part of the reason why Heroes of Might and Magic 1 looked very, very appealing, is because it felt like an opportunity to do something to help kind of pull the series together as a whole. At some point before Olden era comes out, I do hope to do Heroes 5 for the first time, and Heroes 6 and Heroes 7. So my hope is to be ready for Olden era and played every iterations of Heroes of Might and Magic up until that point. And when it's ready, that's when I'm going to pounce. That's when I'm going to take care of business. Okay. Tactically, I'm going to have everybody on Silvia because it makes the most sense. In my heart, though, that doesn't mean that you are second rate to your sister, sir. No, 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 not at all. Not at all. Very interesting map, by the way, having two starting castles so very, very close. I don't know if the goal was for me to take this castle on day one or not, but it feels like the most advantageous thing. Kind of reminds me of Pyramid, the map Pyramid, in the sense I'm trying to get a really quick start and avoid losses for as long as I can. By the way, did you notice that the enemy, the Dr. Cruel, did not make a beeline for Night Shadow this time? A little bit of variation from playthrough to playthrough. It's always a little bit interesting. Okay. Let's see. No, Silvia, no, Stisen says. Yeah, I'm sorry. Crazy Furry Boy in the chat. Hello, sir. Very nice to have you here. Always a pleasure to have someone enjoying this time here that we're spending. We're on this user-generated map. We're having a ton of fun, but we've already lost once. So, very difficult. Feel free to find this map in the FHeroes2 Discord as we fight a nearby Titan. It's going to be some issues here, but as we look to fight this fight with some lightning bolts, I think it's going to be worth the Traveler's Boots for sure. But yeah, you can find this map in the FHeroes2 Discord. If you're not a member of the FHeroes2 Discord, I highly recommend it. There's excellent people there. There's a lot of support for the game in general. It's just a really good community. Is that any surprise? Is it any surprise that the Heroes of Might and Magic community is just quality all around? I submit to you that no, it's not, and nor should it be a surprise. I've met a lot of really wonderful people playing this game, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to continue to be a part of the community in general. So hopefully me being here on Twitch and on YouTube, hopefully I'm simply an extension of that community. And thanks again for the opportunity for getting to be here. This Titan is taking an absolute beating, but we are going to persevere. I wonder, is he going to focus on the Grand Elves for one more shot? He does. And with 50 hit points left, I think I can actually just do the magic arrow for 20 points of damage. And then I think I do just enough damage with the rest of my troops. Oh no, 16 points of damage. You should have taken the lightning bolt when you had the chance. Oh, never mind. We don't even lose a Hydra on there, so it was actually worth it. Perfect. We are fine. Glorious victory. 6 of the elves, 6 of the gargoyles. 1 Titan goes down, and we take our prize, the Traveler's Boots of Mobility. All right. One of my favorite artifacts. One of my all-time favorite artifacts. Okay. E-Parade says, well, now I can see those first few seconds I missed out on the second time around. Perfect. Okay. Perfect. Yeah, because if you're arriving late, as we pick up +1 attack skill from the mercenary camp, when I was locked out of my account, I did talk with Twitch support, and they did say, hey, look, you're ready for the affiliate program. Is there any reason why you don't want to? And I said, well, I'm not sure if that's something that's ideal. And they, I don't want to say they talked me into it, but it felt like the right time to kind of move forward. And so if there's growing pains with ads or with new things here with this Twitch venture, let me know, because I'm always trying to figure out what works best. And so there are some new things here. So that means that videos will actually stay up for longer than just one single week. It has been that they are there for a week and then they're gone. That's not going to be the case anymore. Videos here on Twitch are going to last much longer, so you can catch me here on Twitch or on YouTube. They will expire after a certain amount of time. How long that is, I'm not sure. We'll find out. I have a lot to learn. I've got a ton to learn. and I'm okay with that. I am okay for that. I think we're ready for the challenge. I think it's time, speaking of challenges, I think it's time to get another barbarian hero, or just another hero in general. Let's actually keep the peasants here and just have the average speed goblins go forth and try and do some exploring for us. Free resources can't be bad. I would love to make my way downtown to Night Shadow. Let's see how we can explore there, because we can't get phoenixes or dragons in Misty or Magic City. Silvia is going to continue to do what Silvia does. I don't want her to wander off into the distance, because as a lost condition, if she gets surprised by an enemy, then that feels pretty bad. And so as many other heroes as possible doing the exploring feels like the very, very best thing for me. This is interesting. So we had peasants here, and now we've got wolves, and then there's ogres. Are the heroes, are the units that we have to fight getting progressively more difficult? Is that part of the strategy? Is there a fairy tale here at play that I'm not sure about? That would be kind of interesting if there's a fairy tale where it's like, well, first we dealt with peasants and then wolves and then there was ogres. If this is like a nighttime bedtime story that you guys have converted into a Heroes of Might and Magic game, I'm going to be thrilled to find out. Please let me know if I'm on the right track or not. I think that we're not going to lose in just one fell swoop. So let's do this and get some exploring done. Peasants are not the ideal travel companions, but they're going to do okay for now. And this purple hero, Aerie, is back. And I think I want to fight Aerie. Aerie was not the tough one. It was the other hero. I think that we're just going to make sure that he goes down. This is going to take me a little bit out of my way, but I think we're going to fight this fight. The enemy has fled. Let's see if we can do even better than this. Okay. Let's see. Arcane Him, hey Phixfox, cool to catch your stream playing brand new maps from the map editor. Yeah, I need to do more of this, because there's a great community out there with the FHeroes2 map makers, and I would love to feature as many maps as possible. I do have the Phixfox Discord as well, for those of you who are interested, and in there is a section for requests. So that includes games, that includes certain maps from Heroes of Might and Magic 2 or 3. Whatever you're interested in, drop me a line. Let me know what you'd like to see, and I need a place to keep it all together. I need to keep track of things like that. So the best thing I can do is have that online on the Discord. Again, you can join the Phixfox Discord for that purpose if you are so interested. Also, before I go live and things like that, I ping the Discord, so that way it is another way that you can get a notification that we are playing some games here. Lord Shadowwing, are they the homeless? The peasants? Are the peasants homeless? Are the homeless peasants surrounded by wolves and ogres and all manner of crazy creatures? Are they just trying to make their way in this crazy life? Possibly. Pendant to life there. And then Stisen does say the peasants keep the lawns nice and tidy. Duh. Of course. Of course. That makes so much sense. The peasants are the groundskeepers. I love that. That is perfect storytelling. Has purple players been vanquished? Is this expected? Stisen? Silvia? Maune? Is this the way this is supposed to go? Is purple player supposed to be vanquished this early, or did Phixfox do something interesting? As a map maker, is this what you had in mind? I'm very interested to know. Is this playing out the way that you expected? Let me know. I'm always interested. Let's see. Heroes of Might and Magic 5 is awesome, Chris says, with the Heroes 5.5 mod. I think that you've told me specifically that if I'm going to play 5, I should play the 5.5 mod. I'm not sure exactly what the changes are, but the modding community has always been great with Heroes of Might and Magic, and so I'm very excited to see maybe first how the base game plays, and then I'll figure out what 5.5 has to offer. From a historical perspective, it feels like a reasonable way of enjoying games in the best way possible. I heard a person who's an avid gamer, and they indicated that they're going to make their children play games in chronological order. And what I mean by that is that first they're going to have them play the old video game Pong. You know, where there's like 2 paddles and like the ball is moving like this, and you have to like, it's like a tennis game. It was like the old original Atari game. They're going to make their kids play Pong first, and then they're going to have them play the second video game that ever came out, and then the third and the fourth. And so, like, for example, you can't play Duke Nukem until you beat Doom. And that just seems a little over the top, but it also feels like a reasonable idea. So I like the idea of trying to experience things as they were originally intended. I missed out on a lot of gaming as I was growing up, as we do turn our town into a castle. There's certain games I just never got to play. And so it'd be nice to experience things for the first time if at all possible. I know that that's not always likely, but we will do the best that we can with what we have. Let's see, I'll be there for when you play Heroes of Might and Magic 7, Vammy says, as there's a distinctly low number of people who have played that version. Okay, I'm excited to have you there for Heroes 7. And one of my favorite things, oh, who was it? Axel? Oh, in Heroes of Might and Magic 4, in the playthrough we did for Heroes 4, there was a very helpful, oh, I'm gonna pull it up. I gotta pull it up. There was a very helpful person that has lived and died by Heroes of Might and Magic 4. They've lived, ate and breathed it. And it's just a pleasure to have somebody who's interested in helping someone trying to get back into the game feel comfortable with it. And it was just an absolute pleasure to get insight and support. And so I'm happy to have you fill that role for Heroes of Might and Magic 7 for me when it comes up. Oh, it was Arbiter Dan. That's who it was. It was Arbiter Dan on the Heroes of Might and Magic 4 playthrough. And I really, really appreciated their assistance in trying to make sure that that went off without a hitch. Again, I've played lots of Heroes 4, but it's when you haven't played it for a while, forgetting is maybe the worst thing that can happen. A glorious victory. Let's see if we can do this any better. Crazy FX1. Crazy FX1, nice to have you in the chat. Good evening. Nice to see you there, sir. And Lord Shadowwing, the affiliate program also includes better support, if I remember correctly. It does. And they indicated that that was part of the reason why they said, well, if you have any problems in the future, this will help resolve those problems. Hey, man, I just want to be here to play games with you guys. So that's my goal. And if this helps that go off without a hitch, so be it. That's what we're going to do. I'm going to haste these Hydras. I think that we can step up and maybe stop these wolves from getting a little too aggressive with us. Yeah, here we go. Wolves are getting attacked there. And then let's get this big stack cordoned off with this terrain here. Yeah, 4-speed Hydras. We're still slower than the wolves, but we're faster than we were before. And the wolves wisely decide to try and attack a bunch of snakes. For 620 experience, that's a fight that you don't often see in the wild. I don't usually see dogs fight snakes, but when it happens, it's usually the dog that wins, of course. I do like watching cat videos trying to fight snakes because cats have faster reflexes than snakes. Apparently snakes have a really hard time actually striking against snakes because the reaction times are like 0.04 seconds or 0.4 seconds reaction time versus like 0.32 seconds for a cat. Apparently snakes lose that fight every day to cats. Okay, on to the treehouse we go. Let's see, Lord Shadowing. Yeah, with the affiliate program, the increased support. Borysser, hello, today only on radio because I'm playing some borrowed trauma with friends. I'll be glad to be here. Very nice to have you here. I appreciate you for the time and the energy. I'm a big fan of you. And I appreciate your contributions on the FHeroes2 Discord as well. So thank you very much for being there as well. And then Stisen, purple is down. Read the map name and description again to understand why purple is supposed to be dealt with fast. Maune and his babysitter Silvia have joined forces to turn their neighbor siblings against a greater evil, the Skeleton Masters. So these are our neighbor siblings. That's who purple was. They are the siblings, and now we have gotten them on board, so purple is gone, and so it's us against the yellow Skeleton Masters. Okay, Stisen, that makes a lot of sense. I appreciate that. Thank you for helping me out there. Yeah, and so we have accomplished stage number 1 of the game here on this medium-sized map as we trudge through this lava, and hopefully we don't run into that enemy. What was he? The Dr. Cruel. Hopefully we don't run into him anytime soon, but very interesting. Is that going to be the Skeleton Master? Are there going to be more skeletons that we haven't yet seen? I'm excited to find out. I think it's time to start giving Silvia tons of experience. Does she want to go sailing, or does she want to be really good at archery? I feel like I should ask. I feel like I should ask her what she would like to do. Silvia, do you want to go with archery or navigation? I'm going to give you the opportunity to decide here, as we do pick up the +1 spell power. Let's see. Oddskikov. That's a great use of peasants. Maybe the most meaningful use of peasants ever. You are so completely right on that, Oddskikov. Absolutely. Yeah, the peasants are doing what they're supposed to be doing, tending to the lawn, making sure that the garden is very, very green. And I'm sure that even with 1 hit point, that they can absolutely do that very, very well. Stisen 1 says archery. She says archery it is, and I'll make this decision for her. She's not going to learn Eagle Eye. She's going to go with navigation. Yeah, but thank you, Silvia, for letting me know what you would like in this case. E-Parade says, so Heroes 1, then 2, then 3. You know, I still, I don't know. I'm going to for sure complete the Lord Alamar campaign E-Parade on Heroes 1. I did do number 3, scenario 3 last night, and it's loaded into YouTube. I think it's going to be made available actually at 1 p.m. I think I scheduled it for 1 p.m. today, so of course we're going to be here on Twitch when it drops. But I'm torn because on the one hand, I'm happy to do that, but I feel bad for all the folks that really like Heroes Might and Magic 3, and I haven't done a Heroes 3 video since, oh, what was it? October 22nd? Yeah, and so I'm trying to do this balance of working with people, making sure that they're getting to enjoy what they want to see, and on the other hand, trying to do what I want to do, and it's a little bit tough to manage because I don't want to disappoint people, but I also have stuff that I want to play. Factorio being amongst those, Heroes 1, and so on and so forth. 4 dragons, 4 phoenixes, all these skeletons. This is Dr. Cruel the Knight. 3 attack, 3 defense, 10 spell power, 10 knowledge. The poor morale is actually working in our favor in a big way, but I hope we can find out what spells Dr. Cruel has before we end up fighting him. These forces are a little bit tough to deal with. Okay, the bad morale ended up helping us twice, but what might have happened is we might have just led Dr. Cruel back. Is Dr. Cruel coming back to Night Shadow? Would he have left us alone if I hadn't sent a Barbarian out there? I might have made a mistake, folks. I should have maybe just stayed put right where I was and not done much. Just, you know, played dead, as it were. By playing dead, you can occasionally get an enemy to leave you alone. Maybe I missed the opportunity there. And maybe that means that it's going to be worth it to purchase these 4 phoenixes. Can we defend with 4 phoenixes? Hold on. 1 attack, 3 defense, 2 knowledge. And you've got lightning bolt, fireball. Hold on. I think I've got a plan in mind. I've got a plan. You know what we can do? We can fast travel. Is 4 phoenixes going to be enough here in Night Shadow to actually like make this fight work in our favor? If we want to, we can always build up left turret, right turret. We can try and get this town as beefy as possible, and we could potentially, because Maune is he's not a lost condition, we can potentially have him lose to peasants. I know, embarrassing, and then just rehire him over here in Night Shadow. We're gonna see if that's gonna be an opportunity. Maybe we're gonna do that, maybe we're not, but trying to be tactically flexible, that might be an opportunity to be tactically flexible. Okay, let's see. Oh, he goes north. Dr. Cruel is gonna leave us alone for just a little bit longer, and I am all for it. Folks, 8 centaurs is not a good idea to defeat a horde of ghosts with, but 10 hydras? Can 10 hydras beat this horde of ghosts? I feel like they can. We're gonna have to take a look and see. Chris says, damn, with that logic, I wouldn't want to force Hexen on my kids. Yeah, the logic of you have to play games in order from when they were originally released, like all the way back to 1990 or whatever, and all the way to today. Yeah, Chris, I definitely agree with that. Do you remember that? It was a brutal fantasy version of Doom. You know what? I've seen playthroughs. I've never actually played that myself. So if somebody asks me to play it, the answer is probably going to be no. But then again, that's why I said about Heroes 1, and now we've made a couple of videos on Heroes 1. So, you know. Phixfox, I don't want to say I lie, but I always get mistaken, and then I turn a corner. I come around to it eventually. How about that? So who knows what I'm going to come around to next. Okay, 3rd level mage guild. I think it's time to start beefing up these mage guilds. I don't think I'm going to spend the gems on anything else, and I think that the spells are going to be that useful. Let's have Silvia trend north, back to Misty City, pick up the rest of these hydras, and then she's going to come back after she drops off centaurs and the greater druids. I think that is going to be the best thing for us. And we're just chilling at home. We're camping. We're hanging out in Magic City. That was close. I almost accidentally fought peasants with peasants. That would have actually been bad. Should we keep them alive just because they're tending to the garden? We're going to keep this horde of peasants. Their job is to make sure that everything stays green here. I couldn't imagine what would happen if I didn't leave them alone. Okay. Let's see. Lord Shadowwing says, I really enjoyed Heroes Might and Magic 7. It's quite unique. You know, and I really like the idea of a nice, unique playthrough. We're going to accept these losses. I don't think we can stop it. And so I know that people didn't like Heroes 4 because they changed a lot of the basic mechanics, and it felt very, very much different from Heroes 3. But if we go with that logic, then Olden era, when it becomes a thing, is mostly going to be, in some people's eyes, it should only be Heroes 3, just with different graphics. And that doesn't necessarily feel correct either, if that makes any sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying that every game shouldn't have a certain formula that works. But the basic formula that works with Heroes of Might and Magic is what you found in Heroes 1. And that is that you have armies that are tied to these heroes. They grow stronger as you defeat your enemies, you learn more, you build up armies, you move forward, and you do your best to fight your enemies. That's the strategy that works. That's the gameplay loop that is core to the game and that makes the very, very most sense. But that doesn't mean that every mechanic has to be the exact same. For example, I believe that in Heroes 5 they actually changed the way that necromancy works. And from what I've been told by my brother, it's a great change. It's more on like a resource-based mana system type deal. And he says it works great in Heroes 5. And so I'm excited to see how that works, you know? And so changing some mechanics don't feel too bad. Some mechanics though, some basic formulas should stay the same, and some things should change. I don't know. I haven't seen enough of Heroes Might and Magic Olden Era to know exactly what we're going to find. But I'm excited to find out. Folks, that's the end of month 1. We're still on month 1, week 3 on day 1 now. We got one more. We got a little bit more of this month before we move on to new and better things. Interesting that the cruel doctor did not go by these abandoned mines. I thought that he would. But he chose not to. Pretty interesting. Math Obsessed says Hexen was more difficult than Doom, if I remember correctly. That's crazy because Doom was pretty tough, Math Obsessed. And Chris says, yeah, it was much harder. E-Parade says that was for the previous topic of playing games from the first date to the latest. Oh, my mistake on there. My bad. So Heroes 1, then 2, then 3. You're right. I should have played it in order like that. That's what I would do for my kid. You're totally right, E-Parade. That's how I would do it. Math Obsessed says the self-made town portal. Yeah. I'm glad we didn't have to use that, but it's possible. And all it would have cost us was a couple of peasants. So let's see. I played Hexen for the N64 a lot while listening to Alice in Chains on repeat, and now the two are always linked in my head. Here comes the rooster. I knew a guy and he had a rooster tattoo, and I asked him, I'm like, oh, is that from Alice in Chains? He's like, thank you. Nobody else gets that reference, that it's everybody thinks of Man in the Box when they think of Alice in Chains, and he was grateful that I actually understood that no, this was an Alice in Chains reference, and it was from their other popular song, Here Comes the Rooster. So yeah, Alice in Chains, good band. I wonder whatever happened to them. I've not really followed their lore much, but I'm always interested to find out. I think it's time to purchase up these elves and these druids. Can I upgrade them? If I can, I will. How many marketplaces do we have? 3? We've got 3 marketplaces. I think that's going to be enough to convince me to trade. Yeah, I'm going to get the upgraded druids now, so that way Maune can go forward and do fun things. 2, 3, 4. He needs to go on adventures too. Like, let's be real. We all need to go on adventures in our life. Ask yourself when the last time you went on a really cool adventure was, and that'll tell you what you need to do this upcoming weekend. Just go have fun. In this case, go fight wolves. Oh geez, maybe don't do that. In the middle of a patch of dry, dead vegetation, to your surprise, you find a healthy 4-leaf green clover. Oh, this time we didn't actually have to pay for it, and so I should have gotten that a little while ago, but I didn't. Let's fight some wolves and go from there. Let's see. Hello, playing another Price of Loyalty game. Bearded Man, nice to see you there. Appreciate you having you here. This is a user-generated map. Stisen's Young Ones actually made this map, and I'm having a blast playing it because they did some self-inserts. His son is this individual that we're playing as right here, and then his daughter is playing as the babysitter, trying to make sure that he stays out of trouble. And so far, I don't know if I'm doing a good job of keeping them out of trouble. I think that there's a lot that Phixfox can learn about making sure that kids have a nice time and still stay safe. But we're staying fairly safe. We're doing the best we can. How about that? Okay, pack of ogres with these ranged creatures. I think that this is a good game balance decision here. We don't have all the sorceress troops, but with these ranged creatures, we should be able to deal with slow moving ogres. At this point, I think that we shall. We're just gonna continue on with that. As we go, pick up some spells, and I think it's time that we buy out gargoyles, centaurs, no griffins. Yeah, no griffins, but we do have the swamp here for an additional 9 hydras. They're slow, but we might as well take them. And in that case, we'll take peasants as well and tank our morale. No, the hydras are going to do their job pretty darn well. Okay. Quick kingdom overview break, just so we are all on the same page. I still need an alchemist lab for mercury. I still need sulfur and crystal and gems. We do see sulfur down here, so not too far away. Have we seen any of the other precious resources? There's crystal over here. So we've got some places we need to go. Crystal to the left. More so than killing wolves. I think that we're going to go pick up the crystal, and then hopefully we can defeat ogres and then move our way down south to the sulfur mine. That seems very, very necessary. Glorious victory. Let's make sure that goes even better. So yeah, Bearded Man, price of loyalty. It is price of loyalty, but it is user-generated map. It's not from the campaigns like we did in the previous playthrough. We did, what was it? Price of loyalty campaign scenario 2. And we had a little bit of a rough time there. I haven't actually gone back to really focus on that scenario, but I still want to, because it's been too long since I've played on stream, on camera, some of the expansion campaigns, and they're pretty tough, and they get tougher, and they change from patch to patch. Folks, we are on patch 1.1.3, I think. Whichever patch we're on, it's the newest patch, and it's pretty good. I've noticed that the AI is using boats much better than they were before. Much better than they were before. And that's honestly a little bit scary, because if they get too good at using boats, then we just lose. Folks, halflings. Lots and lots and lots of halflings, plus an ore mine. But look at this. I love it when map designers leave me fun little stuff like this. This makes me happy. My day is better because of this. Thank you very much. Okay. And then let's see, Chris is gonna get ready for bed. Sounds good. Arcane Hymn, very nice to have you here. Always a pleasure. They say Stisen 1, the mini map looks really funny when fully discovered. Does it? Oh, I'm very excited to explore that then. Is it kind of like Hail Unicorns, where it makes a picture of a unicorn? I'd be very interested if that's gonna be the case. I'm excited to find out. I am all a quiver. And then, let's see. Vammy says Heroes of Might and Magic 7 is pretty similar to Heroes of Might and Magic 3. The main criticism of the game I've heard, and that I myself have, is that the AI is straight up bad. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And I'm sorry to hear that, because really a lot of the replayability for me in Heroes of Might and Magic is the fact that the AI is good. When I encourage people to play the FHeroes2 version, it's because I feel like the AI is vastly superior for FHeroes2 over the Gold Edition. And really the reason is because the AI in FHeroes2 doesn't rely on omniscience or cheating. For example, I feel like if I deny vision by, if I deny vision by trying to keep an enemy from picking up a certain watchtower, then it actually impacts the way that the game plays. In Heroes 2 Gold Edition, the AI is already omniscient, so it doesn't really matter. And that feels kind of bad. It's kind of like in Heroes 3, how the AI isn't really affected by the cover of darkness. That feels pretty bad. I don't like that. If it's going to be there on the map, I want to be able to interact with it like I would for any normal player. Just my 2 cents. Just my 2 cents. Stisen says, yeah, beat up the ghosts, Silvia. Mound says, wonderful. Yeah, she's kicking butt. Hey, you're having your own adventures there too, man. You're killing wolves. You're making friends with the halflings. You are the envoy of the halflings. Halflings love you, my guy, because you are the guy that says, come on an adventure. And if you've ever read J.R.R. Tolkien's masterpiece, The Hobbit, you'll know that there's nothing wrong with encouraging our small friends to go on adventures. I wonder if I can get the fenced meadow. I cannot, because the stone hinge is disabled. I'm not going to be able to pick up the fenced meadow. That's okay. We're going to get the dwarves, and we're going to be up to sprites, dwarves, and phoenixes. And that feels okay to me. No problems. Alrighty, on to a new day. And so we're still looking for crystal. We're still hoping to get that sulfur. Veteran pikemen, 40 want to join. Let's see if more will join me. These ones will not, but I'm not going to lose 16 gargoyles. That's far too many, especially when the 18 hydras can pretty handily manage this fight pretty much by themselves. Let's throw out a haste and help make this fight go a little bit better. And let the hydras do some work. Do some damage. They're still going to be slower than everybody else, but they're going to be in better position to actually take the brunt of this upcoming offensive. 29 points of damage, and we will see if we can kill this full stack. We do. There we go. Okay, one veteran pikeman goes down. I'd like to adjust this so I can get a double hex attack off. It's just not going to be feasible. But we still fought that fight much better. Oh, we did lose a Hydra. I'd rather lose a Hydra than 16 Gargoyles, though. Gargoyles are a more specialized flying unit. That's basically the tanky creatures doing their tanky creature job. And there's no problems with that. These losses look acceptable. We're going to continue on this way. And hey, do you feel lucky? Oh, for Silvia, I let her choose. Sir, would you like to be lucky or would you like to be better at scouting? You pick up the +1 spell power, but Maune, what would you like to choose, sir? Luck or scouting? You let me know. Stisen also says, I'm very surprised that you didn't lose the red tower town within 2 to 3 days. Yeah, that might be game breaking at this point because we've got so many phoenixes now. And if I just have to beat 4 green dragons and 4 phoenixes, I mean, I may already be there right now. I may be there right now. So I'm feeling pretty darn good about that. And then eParade says Alice in Chains is still around, but obviously not the same without Lane Staley. I'm sorry to hear that. That's always pretty sad when a band loses some of their luster because, you know, a lead singer goes down or a lead guitarist. The sound of a band changes drastically when you have different people playing. So I hear that loud and clear. And then he's yelling at the screen, what are you doing? He's 7, Silvia's 2. Oh, gotcha. That does change the dynamic just a little bit. And then Arcane Hymn says the Heroes 3 template generated maps are cool, but it does lack a challenging AI. I agree with that. And I'm interested to see if the FHeroes2 team way down the road. They've got so much on their plate right now. They are so busy. This is going to be a project for way down the road. If user generated maps or rather randomized generated maps, if those are going to be a thing in the future for Heroes 2. I think that that'd be interesting if we could have that endless replayability, but it's very difficult to get it right. And the templates that you find in Heroes 3, and there's a lot of adjustments that have been made to make that even work. It's a project, but it's going to be for down the road. Definitely down the road. Okay. And then let's see, the VCMI AI is better than Heroes 3 Complete, but still pales in comparison to FHeroes 2, Lord Shadowwing says. I haven't played it yet, but I'm excited to get down to that at some point. I'll wait and see. And then the original AI for Heroes Might and Magic 1, 2, and 3 is cheating, but it is competitive, says Vammy. So Vammy is saying that the Heroes Might and Magic 7 AI probably cheats, but it's not competitive. Yeah, that's totally a problem. And then Phixfox wife says, what did you just type there? Garolies? Goldies? Gorillas? Phixfox kid would love that. All right, I'm going to need to hear you say that later because I don't even know what that is. And then Stisen does say, Maune pays big attention to detail when placing 2 veteran pikemen next to each other. That is very important to him. You can't have just one. They have to be friends. You need to have friends that are veteran pikemen. They have to rely on each other. By the way, luck or scouting, which one is it? He wants to go with luck? Luck it is, Stisen. Tell him I am happy to make sure that he is very, very lucky. What a good trait to have. Okay, we're going to continue on over to the Sulphur Mine. I don't think that there's much else I need to do in this general area. More wolves, more ogres. And folks, we did find our gem mine. This is actually a big pickup because part of my goal in this scenario is to get nice magic opportunities, and now being able to have one of each mine is going to go a long, long way towards me being happy and feeling secure and safe in this playthrough. I wonder how bad our morale is. It's poor. It's bad. It's not good. But we do have 125 points of damage we can just drop on a stack of wolves, and that feels okay. Nice to see that the luck is coming in handy. Good, good. And with all this ranged damage, assuming that these halflings go, which they do, this feels great. A little bit of a rough shot there. Oh, wow, we did not need to lose that many halflings, but unfortunately that's just the way it went. Halflings are going to skip on their turn, peasants are going to step up, do some damage. And that's the way it is. That's the way the cookie crumbles. 30 halflings, 15 sprites, 700 experience. And folks, this Sulphur Mine is going to be maybe the game winner. Maybe the game winner is having all these phoenixes. Currently 7. Maybe that's the real game winner, but I'm happy to have plenty of spells. And I'm going to go with that. +1 knowledge. Let's go with the ballistics. More experience. Let's go with the mysticism. And I wonder what these cyclopes are guarding. This is very interesting. There's a sign. Folks, I have to get an insight into the way that a 7 and a 2-year-old think. I have to know what kind of sign they think is critically important for me to have. I don't know if they knew that Phixfox loves signs and bottles, but I do, and I have to pick them up every single time. And so, guess where we're going very, very soon? Yeah, you've guessed it. That's our new heading. We're going to wait on the Mage Guild here. This is going to be where we end up doing our level 4 Mage Guild, I do believe. We have another opportunity later, but we're going to slowly start accruing the resources necessary to get some nice spells. We have not seen Dr. Cruel. Where is Dr. Cruel? Interested to find out. Maybe we go back and do resupply. Several Cyclopes. No, we can defeat them. Wolves, Sign, and then Cyclopes. And then back we're going. Maybe going through these wolves before too much else happens. Sabu, I don't know if he can explore much else down here. I'm worried that I'm going to run right into Dr. Cruel and lead him north. That would be a problem. Maybe we end up doing a resupply. Let's try that. And folks, it is the week of the Weasel. Populations have increased. We are at month 1, week 4, day 1. Doing A-okay. Okay. Let me fight this fight. Let's see. Stisen says, let's see, pays attention to detail with the 2 veteran pikemen. Absolutely. And Arcane Hymn says, for now, there are still plenty of maps to enjoy in Heroes 2. Totally agree. Yeah, if anybody hears me talk about a random generated map and thinks, oh, Phixfox thinks that we ought to have that, not really. I think that there's so many maps you can play. I mean, the game has been out for 20 plus years and there's been a very vibrant and active map making community. I don't think we really need, it's not high priority. How about that? Not high priority. I'm gonna sneeze, 1 second. Wow. Holy cow. I have been holding on to that sneeze for the last 5 minutes. I'm very glad that we finally got that figured out. Whew. Okay. Alrighty. And then, let's see. Oh, gargoyles. Oh, the Gargolia. Gargolia. Yeah, so I gotta tell you, my young one here, in America we have Halloween where young children, they get dressed up and they go out and they go trick-or-treating. They get to go to house and they say trick-or-treat, and people that have their lights on indicate that they are open for visitors, and they will often give young children candy. If you are 15 years old and you're wandering around with a sack asking for candy, you're probably not going to get a lot of kind responses. But for young children, it's a nice, fun experience. You know, safety is always an issue, but it's a very fun experience. And so during Halloween, my in-laws have this beautiful blow-up gargoyle that moves its head and is very scary. And my young 4-year-old thinks that that's very interesting. And he's not too sure how scary it is. I am sure that he is happy to see these gargoyles, and hopefully he understands that yeah, there's more than just one Gargolia out there. So, Phixfox kid, this one's for you. Okay. And then, let's see. We took the luck, and then Lord Shadowing says, nice, 22 viewers, most I've seen in a while. Yeah, I appreciate that. And so, if this is your first time being here, I appreciate you very much. I'm grateful for the opportunity to get to be here. I love Heroes of Might and Magic. I'm a big fan of it. And yeah, it's a pleasure having you here. I definitely want to respect the lurk. I don't want you to feel like you have to speak up or say anything, but I'm always happy to hear how your day's going and what is on your mind. Folks, this sign is critically important. I must know. That's hilarious. I love this. This is the best sign I've had in my life. Oh my gosh. And the buildup and the comedic timing was perfect. It was perfect because I'm like, I'm so excited. I need to see what this is. Okay, folks, I am thrilled. My day is much better. I can feel the endorphins rushing to my brain. That was a nifty trick, and Stisen, you should be proud of your children. They have an excellent sense of humor, and I blame you as a parent. Good job. Okay, alrighty. So with that being said, let's move away from the trick sign and go on through these Cyclopes, who I'm very excited to see what they have for us. I love it. I can't get past that. That's perfect. Chat loves it too. I love that chat is just losing their minds. Thank you, chat. That's a great moment. I can tell you right now that we're going to end up having that be a Phixfox short on YouTube. That's going to be my next Phixfox short, so it's going to happen. Oh, Lord Shadowwing's telling me that there were ads. Okay, all right, thank you. Yeah, I again, do apologize for the ads. I don't know how to make them less than what I have currently. I think I'm forced to do, if I'm a partner with Twitch, I think I'm forced to do at least 30 seconds every hour or something like that. If I can find a way to get it lower, I will. I want all the benefits of being able to provide things like, you know, channel specific emotes and things like that without having to give the ads. If I can find a way to do that, I will, because I'm not here to monetize. I'm really just here to have fun. But if I can find a way to get those Twitch emotes for you guys, that's really my biggest goal here. So I'll do some more digging into that later. So thank you, Lord Shadowwing, for letting me know. Okay, moving on here. Let's see. E-Parade, the best way to distract Phixfox from his objective is by plastering signs and bottles everywhere. E-Parade was totally right, and we've seen that in great effect today. I'm thrilled for it. And Phixfox wife says, bless you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Rise to Ruin says, howdy Phix, great to see you back. Cool map. Good job, Stisen and kids. Rise to Ruin, thank you so very, very much for letting them know how you feel about this map. And it's so very nice to have you here, Rise. I'm always a big fan of seeing you, so happy to have you here. Wonderful. Let's see. Silvia is Latin and means of or from the forest. It's based on Roman mythology. Silvia fits right in my sorceress town, my childhood favorite. You know, I've always wondered if I could sneak some sort of fun reference of mine into my children's names at some point. I've not done that yet, but if we have any more children, I will see if maybe I can fit in some of my favorite references, if appropriate, if it's right. I met a person and they really liked the World of Warcraft game, and they named their first child Arthas. That's a little on the nose for me. But you know what? If it's something you're interested in, like there's no problem with having fun interests like that and naming your children appropriately. Arthas is a fine name, and it was just a little bit of a surprise because when I heard it, I said Warcraft 3, and the dad said no. World of Warcraft. And I said, oh, gotcha. So yeah, I'm glad that Silvia fits well into this theming for Heroes of Might and Magic 2. That really does make me very, very happy. Folks, these 15 Hydras are going to obliterate these Cyclopes, and I'm here for it. 1, 2, 3. Oof. That's a lot of damage. 52 hit points here. We're not going to kill one full Cyclopes, but we're going to get a little bit of damage off anyway. That was a mistake, but 2 Hydras lost, 3 Gargoyles. Killed a fistful of the Cyclopes, and our prize is a gold mine. I am all for it. Thank goodness. Let's make that happen. Time for a resupply. I don't feel like going through these trolls feels like the best decision here. And these wolves for Sabu is just not the plan. It's not in the cards. Do we have any purchases that we haven't made yet? Basically the cottage, and we're almost up to our 4th level mage guild. We just need a couple more resources. Sooner rather than later, we will get there. Let's go for experience here. Let's go for the navigation. Sure, why not? Gems and ore. That actually might give us just enough. No, we are still short on the mercury. We have not found an alchemist lab. Oh, this whole time I thought that we had what we needed. No, I'm wondering if it's up here or maybe up here. We do still need an alchemist lab. By the way, the map here, the mini map, is this looking like a cactus? Is this looking like a spooky ghost with its arms up? It's an interesting and well done looking map. I like that the biomes are separated. Grass on top, and then lava, and then snow. I like the look and the layout. The trees are wonderful, by the way. The tree forests and the paths. This is very, very well done. Better than I could have done at the young age of 2 and 7. So very interesting there. But well done map and beautiful to look at. I do think that there's a lot of value in making a map that's beautiful. And I worry that sometimes people want to make a tactical, engaging, wonderful, balanced map, and they forget about making something that's fantastic. And the value in making something beautiful cannot be understated. So, very, very much happy to see that this map is a beautiful map. Let's take up elves and druids. Oh, and I don't actually know. I don't actually know. Is it time to do my fast travel? Pick up 10 phoenixes? I'm going to wait one more week, but I'm still saving these peasants just in case I need to do my fast travel. I may just do my fast travel in just a moment rather than going up this little land mass, I may just do my fast travel and pick up Phoenixes very, very soon. I think that we're going to be the fighting force, and level 5, this is the guy. This is the guy to make this happen. Let's see what the future brings. No complaints here. On we go. One more time. Oh, there he is. Folks, we are on a collision course with, I believe, the man, the myth, the legend, Dr. I almost said Dr. Disrespect. That's not correct. Oh, it's Rathmont. Dr. Cruel is not here, but they've now scouted Night Shadow. I think it's going to be time that we do our strategy. As we see tons and tons of unicorns everywhere, it's going to be time to use our strategy. Let's make that happen in just 1 second. Okay. Yeah. Let's see. VCMI broke, fam. He said, family game night over. Oh, I'm so sorry. Wait, does VCMI let you play Heroes 3 like virtually? Like with like a virtual LAN connection? Is that how is that the main draw of VCMI? As far as I'm aware, VCMI is best suited for like mobile Heroes Might and Magic 3 gameplay. Is it also very useful for like playing player to player? Maybe not with like the Horn of the Abyss client. I don't know. I'm just asking. We're gonna haste the Hydras. There's a nice little concave here. We're gonna slide right into there in just 1 second. And when we do, Hydras are going to have a field day. Beautiful. Beautiful. Let's do more of that. Let's see. And then, see, I just read Lord Shadowing says that some people suggest 15 seconds of ad every 15 minutes. I don't know if that's better or worse. Again, I want your opinion. So if 15 seconds of ads every 15 minutes, if that's going to be the best thing, again, we're not looking to generate any kind of monetization. We're looking for the best user experience while still being able to provide nice emotes and things like that, channel perks. If that's going to be the best thing, let me know what you guys would prefer. Feel free to add me in the Phixfox Discord and let me know what you would like to see, because I'm just interested in whatever works best for you guys. We are going to haste yet again. These Hydras are hopefully going to be the ones to really mix it up here with these enemies like we did before. And we're going to go from there and figure it out. Hydras, ogres, ogre lords, tons of damage. I think I can just hit Q and end the battle from here, actually. I'm going to skip once, twice, and then I'm going to hit Q. Yeah, and that feels fine to me. 2 Hydras, 3 of the gargoyles, that feels okay. Logistics, nice. We're gonna pick up that. And folks, we finally have 1 of each mine. I feel much better. Going up this section here was very, very critically important for us. And we're gonna do it. We're gonna do the fast travel. There's so many Phoenixes here in Night Shadow. There's no way that this is not a high IQ maneuver. Folks, let's make this happen. Oh no, we lost. Pro tip, that was the point. The point was not to win. The point is to run away very cowardly. And then rehire our hero down here. It costs 2,500 gold and a little bit of resources, but all of a sudden we are ready to purchase so many Phoenixes after we trade for some resources. Let's go like this. And like this. That should be enough. How many Phoenixes were there? 13? We just got so tough. We just got scary. We just broke this map in the best way possible, and I'm sorry for breaking your map. I'm sorry for breaking your map, young ones, but tactically, this feels like the very best thing I could do. We're gonna wait here. I don't want Rathmont to go right around me, and he's gonna realize very quickly, oh, I should probably run, and he does, and so he leaves. In the meantime, though, let's kill these ghosts here in this abandoned mine, and just have tons and tons of fun. 1 Phoenix lost. That doesn't sound fun at all. Okay. And then Crazy Furry Boy with the dancing dinosaurs. I like that. I like that. Not just 1, but 3. Perfect. Yeah, I need more of those. I need more dancing types of stuff. And folks, I've gotten okay, not great, but okay at I don't use Photoshop. I use GIMP, the open source Photoshop version. I've gotten pretty good at that. I can totally make some GIFs, some animated Heroes of Might and Magic stuff. I just needed to make sure that I went affiliate, and then I can actually make those. So give me your ideas as well about what kind of stuff you'd like to see as far as animated GIFs in the chat. And then Lord Shadowwing says, Vammy, I have discovered that the Linux builds of VCMI are more stable. Vammy says, Arthas is the same name in Warcraft 3 and in World of Warcraft. What? Yeah, because it's the same, like the Lich King is Arthas, because Warcraft, okay. Folks, how much Warcraft knowledge, like lore, do you want from me? Because I can tell you the entire Warcraft lore. I can tell you all of it. Up until like Warcraft, like World of Warcraft, I'd never followed World of Warcraft, but I can tell you all of the Warcraft 1, Warcraft 2, and Warcraft 3 lore. If you want it, I can provide that. That's just a service I provide with a smile. Just gotta let me know. And then Stisen says, I get no ads at all, and this is because I'm in Denmark and not the USA. Don't really know. It's a good question. Ideally, I would make it so that people who are followed to the channel don't have any ads. I feel like that would maybe be the best thing. Like, is there a function for that where if you are following the channel or subscribed that you don't actually have to do more than that? Like you just don't get ads? If there's a feature like that, I'm totally gonna do that instead. We'll find out. And then Vammy says, well, we have 2 Macs and 2 Windows computers, don't ask. It's not very consistent, Vammy says, in reply to Lord Shadowwing there. Stisen says, Maune says that you will understand what it looks like once you've revealed all the land. Okay, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing what this is. 2 Phoenixes lost. We are losing so many Phoenixes. 3 Phoenixes lost, we're down to 10. I still think that we're tough, but we have to be a little bit more careful than I have been. Maybe we get some more experience. How about we do that, some of that? Okay. Oh, and we see somebody who was brave enough to come in this general direction. I'm a little bit concerned. Is there something nifty here? Blue barrier. I like that we have blue barriers, and by association, there's got to be some tents out here. I'm very excited to see that. Unfortunately, I can't see who this is. Oh, I really don't want Night Shadow to fall. We're going to see about that in just a second. As we do start working on our Mage Guild, no, we're still short a couple of resources. Let's continue to work on the Mercury. Let's go for the level 4 Mage Guild. Take all these troops and head south. Berserker, view all. I think it's time to cast view all, folks. And while I do that, I'm going to get caught up on chat. Is that a crown? Hold on, is that... Huh. Okay, first off, it's a beautiful and well done map. Stisen, I'm supposed to know what it is by looking at it? Because I think my first thought is it's a crown. See, this is the problem. When people say, oh, you should know what it is, and then I don't, and then I feel sheepish because I'm like, I'm just not that smart. This is a very interesting looking, is it a dragon's claw? Dragon's claw, a crown. Help me understand. Help me understand. I'm very interested. Okay. Arcane Hymn. It's a man taking a... Arcane Hymn. There's children in the chat. Okay. Okay. Let's see. And then just kind of getting caught up there. Tobal. Tobal. Nice to see you there, Tobal. Always a pleasure. I love the story of Warcraft 3. Perfect. I'm glad I found another friend who understands that. And then Chris says, yeah, I echo Arcane Hymn's questions. What are your thoughts? What was the question? What was the question from Arcane Hymn? A little bit off topic. Oh, do you have any thoughts to share about the recent election? I did not purposefully miss that question. My bad, Arcane. I did not purposely miss that question. Folks, let me know in the chat. Many people are making their recommendations on what they think that this is. I've seen things like Math Obsessed says, a man in a diaper. LaForm says, hey, LaForm, nice to see you there. A samurai. Oddskikov, grilled chicken seen from above. Samurai hat and a pauldron. These are all good guesses. Stisen, I need you to help me understand. We want to know. What are we looking at here? Okay. And maybe this is a good time to make the decision together. If you didn't already have something in mind, now is the time to make the decision. Very interesting. There is a lith. It's got a red tent here, it looks like. Here's the blue barrier. And so we can't really get into this area. We have yellow here. This is going to be our foe. And it looks like you have to go to here. This is going to take you somewhere else, over to here. And there's more yellow over here. Okay, there's lots to do here. Very, very interesting, folks. This view all has actually been critically important. Beautiful. Okay, again, the trees. The tree line is so very, very well done. I love this. There's an artifact here. We're going to see what that is. Okay. Oh, lightning helm. Interesting. Very interesting. Rice to Ruin says, would have been a fun troll to add a Sphinx, which asks what the shape of the map is. Awesome. Chris says, I'll go with a frog. Stisen says that his son says, it's a human with a crown on top. The button can be anything. It's a human with a crown on top. I'm gonna cast this one more time just so we're all on the same page. I see, because I thought crown. I thought that that was a crown. So the human, oh, I see it. So this is his head. This is his head. The trees are actually his smile and his eyes. So he's looking in this direction. Yeah, and so this is his head. The lava is the head. The snow is the body. We've got an arm. We've got an arm. We've got a leg. We've got a leg. And here is the crown. And this is the button. Interesting. I love it. I love it. Yeah, unfortunately, my creativity is so low that I need help to make sure that I'm seeing these things correctly. So thank you very much for letting us know. I love that. Well done. Well done. I absolutely see it. Now that I know what I'm looking for, that's absolutely a person with a crown on their head. We found out something over here. We need to go up. There is a barrier tent up there. After we purchase these troops, we are heading north because there's more to be done. And that'll actually give us time to pick up, hopefully, our 5th level mage guild. Yeah, we can pick up a 5th level mage guild. We're going to grab that in just a moment. Okay, and clear out enemies along the way. Again, I don't want to lose 24 gargoyles. That seems like too much. It's just too much. Let's see. And then let's see. Paid subscribers don't get ad, Lord Shadowing says. Okay, that could work then. And then Vammy says, does the kid named Arthas randomly generate ice? Talking about the reference with Arthas being the Lich King from Heroes of Might and Magic, or no, from Warcraft. I don't think he does. I think that he's not sure why he's named Arthas. I don't think that that kid even plays. Hold on. I met this kid like 10 years ago, 15 years ago. That kid is like, that kid might be an adult by now. Jeez. I don't often have that feeling of like, oh, I'm getting old, because I don't feel old. I don't feel old by any means, but I have to recognize that I'm almost to my mid-30s, and after that, I'm in my 40s, and it's just weird how some of these memories are tied to specific places and times, and occasionally time just slips by. I think that everybody has noticed that ever since the COVID-19 pandemic, that time doesn't even feel real. Time doesn't feel real. I don't know how else to say it, but time does not feel real. Folks, Rathmont has wandered too close, and he is dead. It's gonna be a little bit costly, but he's still gonna die. Oh, geez. And then let's see, would have been fun to, let's see, frog. Okay, okay. I'm just trying to make sure I'm keeping up on chat, especially when there's so many good comments. And I feel bad, for example, with E-Parade's comment asking about the election. I feel bad when I miss stuff. I don't mean to miss stuff, but occasionally I do. Thoughts on the election? So here's the reality of the situation, folks. I worry about discussing the election. It's a topic of interest for a lot of people overseas because American politics does impact a lot of people, right? But I want to be very, very careful in making sure that people understand that I'm not trying to advocate one way or the other for any political ideology or person. Because politics is one of those things that you don't generally talk about, of course, because it can lead to misunderstandings, hurt feelings, things like that. I don't think that a lot of people, whoa, I lost that for a second. I don't think that a lot of people in like the United States of like Hollywood and the mainstream media, I don't think that they saw Donald Trump's victory coming. They just didn't think it was going to happen. I think that if you talked to a lot of the average everyday citizens, that they more or less saw that coming. They saw a Donald Trump victory. The biggest stat that indicates that that was probably likely to me for his victory was this. The stat, or the question was, are you better off now than you were 4 years ago, about this time at the previous election? And nearly half of the people who responded to that poll indicated, no, I am not better off. The economy and issues with, buying groceries and things like that is a major deal for the average everyday voter. And for better or for worse, the economy has been difficult with inflation. And I think that that's probably the key thing, is not that people were voting for a particular ideology. They were voting for trying to afford groceries, trying to afford putting gas in their car. And that feels like it was the main thing for the average everyday voter. It was not a referendum on, you know, is Donald Trump a good person or a bad person? It was not a referendum on whether or not you liked Kamala Harris as a African-American woman potentially being president. I don't think it had anything to do with any of that. I think it just came down to, are things going well right now? And if they're not, are you going to vote for the same political party that was in power for the last 4 years, or are you going to try and do something new? Because people were pretty comfortable with Donald Trump in the sense that, look, we already know what we're going to get with him. Like, he's been president once before. I'm not expecting anything different. I think that from my perspective as an American, that's probably the way things were looking for a lot of people. So was I surprised with the election results? Not really. Were other people surprised, and were people stamping their feet and calling this, you know, wild and crazy? No. Other people didn't see it coming. I wasn't surprised. One interesting stat though. So Donald Trump did increase the amount of people that voted for him. More people voted for Donald Trump in his second election than did in his first. And then in this election, for the third time, more people voted for him yet again. Joe Biden got 81 million votes or so in the 2020 election, and Kamala Harris was 13 million less. 13 million less people voted for Kamala Harris than voted for Joe Biden. Why? A lot of questions, and I'm going to leave that to political pundits to answer those questions. The reality of the situation is that that's just not my lane. I'm just here to focus on Heroes of Might and Magic. I'm just here to have fun playing games. So those are my general thoughts. It's a very curated thought because, again, in the great words of Michael Jordan, Republicans buy shoes too. And that can apply to that was what Michael Jordan said. Michael Jordan, as a Democrat, he felt that way about Republicans. He said, look, there's no reason for me to alienate half the population. And so I feel very, very similarly that my politics are irrelevant. That's just my take on the situation as it unfolded. I can feel chat in the corner. I've got my iPad here, so that way I can actually like read chat and play full game. I can just see in the corner of my eye, chat has been slowly stacking up, and I'm a little bit scared to look because of the topic of discussion. I'm a little scared, but I will look, and we will take a look and we'll see what we have here. Okay. So, let's see. Soul Invictus says, yeah, I wouldn't touch the election. Yeah, it was probably a bad decision on my part to even go there, quite frankly. Stisen says, only the good and the bad, and the Magne is topic today. Vammy says, the joke about getting ice is that in Warcraft 3 Reforged, there's a river that Arthas has to cross that was not there in the original game. And so Arthas makes an ice bridge and then never does so again. And that's obviously a flaw in Warcraft 3's remaster. That's totally accurate. I love when they retcon things. You bring in somebody that's not like familiar with the lore. They're not familiar with like certain things, and then they try and continue the story. And if you're not steeped in the knowledge of a certain game or something like that, then yeah, it's pretty rough. It's pretty rough to try and continue the story without any interruptions or without any retcons or anything like that. And then let's see, Lord Shadowwing, I would suggest no politics on stream, but you could create a channel on his Discord specific for political discourse. I do agree. That was probably a dumb decision on my part to even just say what I think I saw. But hopefully, again, nobody's feeling like I'm any sort of way about any topic in there. Yeah. I would advise against it as well. Let's see. And Stisen, Oddskikov, what about Silvia? Yeah, what about Silvia? Christina Diamonds, just woke up from my nap and now I'm enjoying my favorite game played by my favorite streamer. Hello, everyone. Hello, Christina. Very nice to have you. I appreciated that you said hello in the previous stream, and I didn't get the opportunity to talk to you a whole bunch there, but thank you all the way from Germany. I'm happy to have you here. Happy to have you here. It's a pleasure. Hopefully we're catching you quite a bit earlier than we have usually been. I did get started a little bit earlier today. I can't always promise that. I can't always do that, but today it worked out just fine. So. Tobel says, one thing for sure, Trump being a president is very good news for comedy. Yeah, I no comment. No comment. From here on out, no comment. And then LaForme says, paper ballot. The graph for Biden's votes is insane. there's information there. I'm not sure about that. Phixfox wife says my iPad. Thank you. Yep, this is true. I am on this iPad, so that way I can again play the game in full stream and then still have chat in the corner. And it is my wife's, my dear sweet wife. She got the iPad for school, and it's been repurposed again and again and again in our household. And now it gets to be used here for Phixfox, playing some wonderful games and having a real chill time. So thank you, dear. I appreciate that. Arcane Ham says, it's okay. Thanks for your thoughts. I respect you a lot. So it was great to hear an American about this. And thank you for, thank you for the question. I don't want people to feel like questions are not, there's no topic that I'm not really afraid to breach. But I'll especially try and tell people if I don't think that if I don't have a good perspective on a topic, if I'm not learned enough, I don't want you to just hear my opinion and think that I know what I'm talking about. And so if there's a topic that comes up where I really have no idea, I'm not going to just fathom an opinion about something I know absolutely nothing about. So this was a case where it's more like, this is just what I saw. And maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. So thanks for the question. I appreciate that. And then Rise to Ruin, Phix podcasts might be a cool idea. Talking beliefs, values, funny stories, etc. Borrowing Phixfox wife's iPad, of course. Yeah. Tell you what, I've actually wondered, it would be pretty nifty to do something like that. And I think that because we have Discord, we could make something like that happen. We would want to make sure that we have a list of topics that people want to talk about. And I don't know if it would necessarily be the right idea for me to lead something like that. This feels very one-sided. If somebody wanted to say something about this discussion here and they have so much to discuss about it and they're just trying to type it out, that might feel rough. If you don't actually have a voice, you can't actually respond to me with a voice. And so if ever somebody says, hey, I really want to discuss this topic with you further, but I don't want to discuss it with you over chat, like over typing, Discord provides us a really awesome opportunity to still be able to make sure that we're on equal footing. Because if I can talk but you can't, there is a certain disadvantage there. And so hopefully, if anybody ever feels like they would like to go to Discord for something like that, just know that I'm always happy to do that. I didn't necessarily plan on doing YouTube and Twitch with like a face cam. I know lots of people try and personally avoid making sure that they're on camera for their privacy and things like that. It kind of happened. And at this point, I think that there's enough video out there of me that if you wanted to make an AI replication of me with my voice and my likeness and make me do silly things, there's already enough video out there. So it doesn't really, the cat's out of the bag, as it were. And so talking on Discord or talking with an actual mic, it seems fairly normal at this point if we ever were to go in that direction with somebody. Dr. Cruel, folks, he's back. He's got a pack of dragons. I do not. It's day 3. We do have 3 more phoenixes, which is good. I'm wondering if I have just the one phoenix in here, if I can maybe convince him to attack me. 30 dwarves? 30 dwarves is actually quite a bit. 48 sprites, that's better than the 6 centaurs. I think we can do this. I think we can do this. If I have 2 stacks like this, are the phoenixes going to go back into the garrison and just combine forces, or do I have to leave a stack open like this? If that's the case, I think I still want the 1 phoenix here, 1 single stack to take a retaliation at the top of the turn order, and maybe he's going to attack me and not take into account the forces in the garrison. I think that that's something that the AI sometimes struggles to do, if I remember correctly. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Oh, here we go, folks. It's not good. Let's make this happen. 13 dragons. That's a lot. Okay, big fight, folks. Big fight. Let's see. Christina, thank you. And yes, it's only 9 p.m. here in Germany. Perfect. I got you at the exact right time then. Thrilled for it. Rise to Ruin. Yeah, with the Phixfox podcast, sure. E-Parade, he borrowed the iPad and is now chatting as Phixfox wife to make it seem like it was... Yeah, I'm setting up this elaborate stream. Folks, do you guys think I even have a wife? Wouldn't that be the biggest twist ever? I don't even have a wife. I don't even have kids. I live on the streets. I'm mostly homeless. That's why I'm here at the library. I don't really have a wife or kid. That would be the craziest twist ever. And I'm just typing to myself back and forth like, oh, I love you, babe. And I'm like, oh, thanks. Okay. 13 dragons. I don't know how to deal with this. This is too much. 202 skeletons. Oh no. This is not good. We are going to be able to surrender out of this, and we will. For sure, we will. We do have Dragon Slayer. We are going to get the chance to go first. I think that we got to take our first hit. We got to hit hard. We're going to take the retaliation right here. We're going to lose the Phoenix, but we do kill most of the skeletons. That was awesome. And now, no retaliation. We've got the Slayered Phoenixes, 13 attack. This is Dr. Cruel with 6 attack, 10 defense. 10 spell power, 10 knowledge. We got 1 attack, 1 defense. So he is a little bit of a heavier hitter there, but we're still going to do a little bit of damage. Oh, it's not enough. The attack skill and the defense skill is just too much. Ouch. We've got to go forth though. Now that the skeletons numbers are way, way down, it makes a lot of sense just to move forward in this direction. Let's have the gargoyles just stop the trolls from doing anything nifty. Oh no. Oh no. 125 skeletons were animated from the dead. Oh no. That's not good. That's okay though. I'm fine with that. Yeah, I'm totally fine with that. I think I'm actually going to use the sprites to kill some goblins. Maybe that'll work out well. We'll see. Pure defensive positioning from the AI. No way. You're kidding me. You think the 12 war trolls is going to win you this fight? Obviously, that's what you think. I don't think that that's a... What do I think about that? Is that good or bad? I don't know. The problem is that there's still 40 spell points left on Dr. Cruel the Knight, and any damage I do to the skeletons is just going to immediately be revived. And I don't want to take the retaliation from 12 dragons. With a steel skin, I'll feel much better, but this is not great. This is not great. This way I do actually get to roast some war trolls as well, though. I think that your best shot is being dragon slayered, steel skinned, and then hoping you do enough damage, because you can't resurrect or reanimate dragons. Any that I kill are going to be just dead. But we're going to lose 4, 5 phoenixes on this retaliation. 4 phoenixes go down. And are the skeletons going to step up and try and do damage? I don't know. The dwarves are going to stay back. We're going to let the phoenixes exhaust themselves, unfortunately. And then we're going to run away. Huh. You know what though? At least this Dr. Cruel doesn't have so many phoenixes. Maybe I got a little greedy. Maybe I made a critical error. We're down to 7 war trolls. Any additional buffing spells I can do? Bloodlust with Dragon Slayer, that should work, right? So our attack skill is now up to 9, or it's +9 and then +6 on the steel skin. We're about as tough as these dragons. We've definitely bridged the gap anyway. Problem is that now our numbers are down to 2. And that's not very good. We're gonna skip one more time. That's bad. I am so sorry. You were not supposed to... I wasn't supposed to lose you. I am so sorry. I am so sorry. I feel so bad. The plan was to run away at the last possible second. I didn't think that 9 dragons, I thought that they were just going to remain in a defensive position. I failed you. My poor leadership has failed you. And I'm so sad. Your son, Stisen, no! Okay. I am so sorry. Is there a silver lining here? No, there's not. The silver lining is I can potentially rehire him if he comes back into my circle. The likelihood of that is not high, but I'm gonna have to hold out hope that we can reunite the siblings down the road. That has to be my hope, and that is gonna be my hope. But now I don't know what to do with an enemy hero that's got like 10 attack, well, 10 defense and like 6 attack. That's pretty hefty. Part of the reason why the sorceresses sometimes struggle is that they don't really opt into attack and defense that well. And I think that we're seeing that on full display here. Ouch. Okay, let me get caught up on chat. Let's see. Rice World says, yeah, something like Zoom or TeamSpeak on Microsoft Teams could be a fun meetup for everyone in the community. You know, I've always wondered, wouldn't it be amazing if there was like a, I don't know, like a, I don't want to say Twitch convention or YouTube convention, but like some kind of meetup. I really loved that the FHeroes2 team ended up doing a meetup at one point, and they had a lot of participants from what I heard. I wasn't there, I don't know, but I'd love the idea of being able to potentially say, hey folks, I'm going to be in this part of, you know, Europe, And if you want to come see me, I'm happy to meet you. And we just, I don't know, do dinner, do something fun. I would love that. I would love to meet all of you in person, actually. And then you actually get to find out that I'm not as cool in real life as I am on camera. What in the heck was that? Oh, that's what that is. Soul Invictus. Soul Invictus subscribed. Somebody subscribed. That feels like a really big deal. I've never had that happen before. Soul Invictus, thank you for subscribing. That's awesome, man. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Okay. Wow. Thank you. I'm at a loss for words, but hopefully you can feel the good vibes coming from me. That's awesome. Soul Invictus, you are the first. Your pleasure? No, the pleasure's mine. Thank you so very, very much. I appreciate the time, appreciate the energy, and I'm glad that it's worth your time. That's awesome. Cool. All right. Sweet. And then E-Parade subscribed at tier 1. E-Parade, thank you so much for also subscribing. Holy cow. Thank you. Thank you so much. You think, okay, you have to pretend like you've been here before, but I haven't. And so I'm just gonna say, hey, thank you for the subscription. Glad to have you here. Glad to have you for the rest of your life. And then I'm just gonna move on because that's what like other Twitch streamers do. I'm not that guy, and so I'm not used to doing this. So I'm just gonna have to say thank you. I appreciate you, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next one. Okay, let's move on, I guess. E-Parade, brand new as of becoming a partner. What in the world? Holy folks, guys. Borysser subscribed to tier 1. Borysser, thank you so much for the subscription. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I'm at a loss for words, folks. I'm at a loss for words. Thank you. It's so nice to have you here. We need to have like a name for all the people that are subscribed. Like Phixfox is, I don't know, Phixfox is something. It probably shouldn't be on brand with the Phixfox logo, but something. This is the bullpen. This is the A team. This is the wild and crazy awesome crew that makes sure that Phixfox doesn't make wild mistakes when he's playing. Whatever the case is, I feel like I've got to find a way to make sure that you know that you're a part of something. So I don't know. I'm working on branding all the time, but I'm definitely working on making sure that you guys know that I appreciate you. That's my #1 goal, is making sure that you know that I appreciate you, because every single person that subscribes is a real person that actually took the time to say hello, and they said, yeah, I like what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. And for somebody that didn't plan on doing all of this, it's incredibly humbling. It's incredibly humbling because I get the opportunity to do something I love and just have fun with all of you. So thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. Let me get caught up on chat because, oh my goodness, we're a little bit behind on chat. Soul Invictus said that Phixfox wife is a bot. Yeah, pretty much. No, she's not. She's not really a bot. But if she was, that would be the craziest twist of all time. Folks, we just got a new follow. That is awesome. That's going to be, who was that? Oh, I got to pull this up. Jeez. Oddskikov followed you this minute. Oddskikov, thank you so much. Pleasure to have you here. Thank you so very, very much. I've appreciated your input. Glad that we're going to plan on having more of that. Thank you. And yeah, loving this. Okay, great. Hype train rolls. The hype train continues. I have to say, I was a little bit surprised the other day. We just crossed 600 subscribers on YouTube, and that feels fairly significant. I think that the big plan is that when we hit 1,000, I'm gonna do a giveaway. If you like these Phixfox headbands, I've got a couple on back order, and I'm gonna get you the Phixfox headbands. It's gonna be to a certain number. I don't know what the number is just yet, but from people that are subscribed on YouTube or Twitch or following or whatever the case is, we're gonna have a random drawing. You've seen my dice roll that I do, and we're gonna have a certain number of individuals that get me mailing them as a token of my appreciation for hitting 1,000. I'm gonna send you guys a headband. So again, how many people that's going to be, I haven't worked out those details. I haven't figured that out yet. But when we hit 1,000, I am planning on showing my appreciation to all of you. And it's going to be in the form of having a couple of individuals get their own Phixfox headband. And hopefully that'll encourage you to take the time to take a picture of you wearing that Phixfox headband. And then we just have a nice chill time getting to see everybody with their new merch, with their new brand. It seems weird to call it merch because it's not really... Yeah, I'm right now I'm buying it in such small quantities that I can't exactly offer it to everybody. I could make it available on the Phixfox Discord though. I could make it available for you to like to know where I got my headband or where you can get your own. Maybe I should do that for all the people that are interested. I think we've talked about that in the past. And so I'm very excited to see if anybody does want a headband, I will let you know. I'll let you know where you can get your own. Okay, I've got to get caught up on chat. We are so far behind. Whew. Okay. Let's see. TeamSpeak. Arcane Hymn, a bit less controversial question, or not. Which is your favorite hero portrait from the Heroes of Might and Magic 2 campaigns? Oh gosh. Sandro. Sandro the Warlock from Heroes 1 and 2, that portrait is so good. It's so good. I'm like, he's this big scary skeleton and he's just imposing. And the fact that he appeared in Heroes 3 and did so much for the Shadow of Death, notwithstanding, the portrait is just so cool. It feels like it's iconic. And occasionally I'll see people with that as their avatar on YouTube or Reddit or something like that. And that's when I know that they are a true Heroes of Might and Magic aficionado. It makes me incredibly happy. We've got to get this back. Dr. Cruel, hopefully he doesn't pick up Phoenixes. Hopefully he keeps these troops in his army and he doesn't swap out for more. But we do have the blue barrier. We have visited the tent. And I'm going to see if Silvia can go and avenge her brother real quick. Nope, he's not here. How many knights would I have to hire in order to find Maune? I wonder. We'll wait and find out. We're gonna keep giving it a shot. Okay. And then let's see. LaForm says LOL. Phixfox wife is a bot. He's tricky like that. Phixfox wife says. Let's see. Super sleepy. The kids are super sleepy. The last thing he said was, "Daddy, I'm so glad that there are so many watching someone play my map." And then he fell asleep. So cool. Awesome. All right. And that was my goal, is that you guys had such a great time doing that. And I'm a huge fan. So thank you. Way to go. Let's see. Dr. Cruel resurrecting, killing gargoyles, and then fist pumping is so cruel for sure. E-Parade said, well, that was when we lost Maune, which is so sad. I'm still so sad about that. Who's Dr. Cruel now, huh? He's still cruel. He's the cruelest in the world. Arcane Hymn said 6 attack, 10 defense, and magic immunity on that stack of the green dragons. Yeah, that fight, I don't know how I'm going to deal with that. It's got to be the peasants. No, it's got to be the phoenixes. Maybe a huge stack of hydras is going to help. I don't know. We're going to have to wait and find out. And then that's when the whole tons of subscriptions and follows came out. And oh my gosh, whoo. Phixfox wife might come hammer your door down and say, give me the money. Oh, subscriptions equal money? I don't know how that works. Borysser, oh, for the name, for all the people that like and subscribe and follow, Phix's Foxes. And then Lord Shadowwing throws his hat into the ring. Phixians. E-Parade says Foxtrotters. Oh, I like all 3 of those. All 3 of those are really good. And Soul Invictus, the Foxy ones. The Foxy ones is really good. I really like that one a lot. I think I gotta call you guys the Foxy ones because, hey, Foxy has a lot of nice connotations, and I would love for you all to know that I feel very, very highly about all of you. Foxy might be the best adjective any of you could have. So that's my current #1 in the lead. But again, they are all really good. So we will wait and see exactly how we do this, but you've given me a lot to think about, so we're gonna go with that very soon. And then let's see, Vammy says green dragons, tier 1 red dragons, tier 2 black dragons, tier 3. Oh yeah, so green dragons are tier 1 subscriptions, red dragons tier 2, black dragons are tier 3. I like that too, because then it's specific to the game. I do worry if and when we branch out. I really like the idea of sticking with Heroes of Might and Magic on Twitch, because this is what people know me for. This is what people like. It feels like that might be the very, very best thing. I hope we get a nice 5th level spell. Jeez. That's a good one. That's too good of a one. And just in case I play another game, I wonder if people who play other games are gonna be like, green dragon, red dragon, black dragon. I guess it's pretty synonymous. You can tell that there's a really quality progression there. And with the icons, I think that people would understand pretty well. Interesting things I think about. We'll figure that out, but I like that idea as well, Vammy. Excellent. And then Rise to Ruin, Phixfox, get your own iPad funders. Diaper fund supporters, Rise to Ruin says, absolutely. Yeah, if you guys, anything that comes this way is gonna go to new equipment and diapers. I do have some hopes. Earlier, the mic stand fell down here because I've jimmy rigged something up that's not normally expected. And I don't know, it'd be nice to be able to have a little bit more of an official deal. Honestly, maybe one of the big equipment upgrades would be being able to stream from my home instead of the library. maybe getting some kind of alternative internet source so that way I don't have to stream at the library. That might be the very, very best thing I can do, because then I can stream at different times and I can stream when it's more conducive for you guys having a nice time. That might be one of the big upgrades I end up doing in the future, because right now my internet at my home is too slow, and so I stream at the library, and then of course I can't stream whenever. I have to stream during the correct hours and when I'm not at work. So that might be something we do in the future. We're gonna purchase the Hydras and the Gargoyles and the Centaurs. We're gonna try and get these creatures down. It is gonna be Silvia coming all the way up, because I do want to have Dimension Door in my back pocket. Usually I don't use Dimension Door. I want to make sure I have it just in case I feel like the map is completely unwinnable otherwise. It feels like that might be the case here. After we see the enemy and how tough they are, I don't know. This is gonna be a little bit concerning, because we're not using 6th tier creatures. We're using 5th tier and below, and they just don't stack up like you would hope. They do not stack up like you would hope. So we're gonna give Silvia the best chance of winning this scenario. She's gonna head south, and we might just Dimension Door over the blue barrier so that way the enemies can't get out. If I can get what I need and keep them out, that might be the best thing. We have 3 Dimension Doors available to us. Are we gonna have enough time to get all the way down here? Stay 6. We might get there on day 1. With 2 Dimension Doors, we might get there on day 1. Let's give it a shot and find out. Let's travel by road as far as we can and then go from there. Glorious victory, we'll accept it. Archery, sure, why not? This is a long way to go, but we won't have to go through the desert anyway. Let's see. Okay. And then Rise to Ruin, thank you so much for the subscription, Rise to Ruin. I heard the indication that I was getting caught up on chat. So thank you so much, Rise to Ruin. It's a pleasure having you here, you foxy individual, you. Way to go, Rise. Thank you so much for the support. Let's see. And then also need a sub in order to get that sweet founder badge. Oh, interesting. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. There's so much I don't know about Twitch, but I'm excited to learn. So that way, again, I want this to be rewarding for all of you. So again, thank you for the good vibes. I'm thrilled to figure out what I can do to make this a more enjoyable experience for you. Okay. I wonder if they're going to hire the Phoenixes in this castle or not. They have not, and that's good. With 3 Dimension Doors, can we get from here to there? I think so. Let's give it a shot. There's 1. There's 2. And here's 3. Phixfox, you are totally breaking your own rules. Yeah, I know. And it hurts my feelings. It really does. But for Silvia, for Mounds, I have to win this scenario. They have to know that it can be done. As tough as a fight as they've given me, they have to know that they have made an excellent map that has given me absolute fits. And there's nothing wrong with that. Do I have a mage guild in here? Wow, almost a 5th level mage guild. It's disabled though. You can't actually get the 5th level here, and that's good. So Mass Slow, Mass Cure, Animate Dead, Cold Ring, Blind, Summon Boat. Interesting. Wait, are boats possible in this scenario? I don't think so. No, I don't think that boats are possible here. Let's stay here and let's see what the enemy does. If he rushes my way, I'm gonna feel really sad. He's coming. He's coming. Silvia, I don't think you're tough enough. 1 attack, 2 defense against dragons that are immune to magic? That's not good enough. I'm sorry, it's not going to work. 25 Hydras is pretty good, but if I lose the Hydras, I have nothing left. I have nothing left. I need to think about this. Okay. And then Oddskikov is my man, my best pal, Stisen says. All right, way to go. I'm all for that. I like how people end up adding each other and you guys end up talking to each other in chat. That's really what I hope for. I still respond to every single comment on YouTube because I want people to know that, hey, I'm here for you, I hear you. But I love it when people start talking to each other and then I'm just like, oh, I'm gonna take a step back. I don't actually need to be here for this. You guys are just having a good time amongst yourselves and that makes me happy. And then Chris says, I'd like to subscribe, however, due to financial restraints, due to mental illness, I don't currently work as I have bipolar disorder. If I had the cash, I would subscribe. You're a great streamer. Chris, thank you so much. It's really like, feel no obligation, folks. Feel absolutely no obligation. I've got my financial obligations. I got a kid on the way. Like there's lots of things I'd like to do to help support other people in their endeavors, and I simply can't do it because I've got my own obligations and responsibilities. So I totally get it, and you're not hurting my feelings at all. So thank you for the good vibes there, sir. I sincerely appreciate it. And then as we're going to Dimension Door our way out of here, like so. Running away. And I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna steal Phoenixes every week until I have enough to defeat our enemies here. Forced to suffer a bitter defeat. Unfortunate, but not unexpected. And then Slow Invictus says, I'd proudly be a Foxy one. Perfect. I'm thrilled that that's worked out for you. Stisen says, Sandro is a warlock in Heroes 1, the way it should have stayed. Hate Necromancer heroes and Talon as a concept. I like the unique mix and match concept going on in Heroes 1 and 2. Sure, you know, and I've heard you say that before. I mean, and you love the sorceresses, and it feels like the sorceresses and the necromancers are always at odds. They are always fighting each other. They are always, oh, how do you say? They're always at odds because they seem to be the two mid-game factions, and so they kind of step on each other's toes a little bit as they vie for supremacy and dominance. So I feel that, and so I'm not surprised, Stisen, that you're not a big fan of the necromancers. As a warlock, though, in Heroes 1, he totally looks like the ideal candidate to move over from the warlock faction into the necromancers. Like, doesn't he? The big skeleton guy? Yeah, he kind of looks like that's where he belongs, in my humble opinion. There is another yellow hero that just popped up here. Dawn, she's not really much of anybody. What I'm doing is dirty, it's underhanded, and I feel bad about it. But not so bad about it. Because, again, I'm going to win this scenario. I choose to not lose. Green Dragon growth +5. That's not good. Because I think he's getting more dragons. I just realized, is this strategy not going to work? This strategy might not work. Because if he's getting dragons every week, he's going to get stronger than I am, because dragons are going to be inherently stronger than phoenixes. Huh. Yeah, I think we're going to cast View All real quick, and we're going to see. There's a warlock castle over there. I think that this strategy is not viable in the long term, and that causes me great concern. That causes me great concern. The enemies are running away from me, though. Is the 25 Hydras, is that enough to make my enemies fear me? I feel like I doubt it, but let's go away from the castle and just see if Dr. Cruel turns around. I'm interested to find out what he does here. Dr. Cruel is coming my way. Tell you what, let's play things scary. Let's be aggressive. Let's go View All, and it looks like we cannot get this way. We have to go this way in order to get back to those liths. Let's go to right here, and let's play Ring Around the Rosy. Let's hope that Dr. Cruel goes this way. We're gonna go this way. Yep. And then I can go back and I can trade castles. That's what we're gonna do at this point. Yeah, take the sorceresses, not with my compliments, but with my sadness. Take them and leave me be. Whoa, several green dragons are there too. Oh, goodness. Did they split their forces? This might be an opportunity that I'm missing. I might be missing the opportunity to go and actually defeat half of the dragons. But because I'm using the Dimension Door, that feels more dirty and underhanded than I would otherwise like it to be. Oh no. Viper's Nest, let's grab this. He's coming in hotter than I would like. If I stand on the liths, he's gonna know that. And then I think Dr. Cruel is gonna run away. I think I just have to stay here. I'm safe for now. Let's see what he ends up doing. And once he gives me a little bit more space. Yeah, once he gives me a little bit more space, then I can move on. Tell you what, I'm not getting a high score here at all. Yeah, look at this. He's just hanging right around there. He's not even using his full movement points. Oh, that's Gwyneth. Oh, so Dr. Cruel is gone. I got them mixed up. Okay. And now I think that means that we set off. I think he's immediately going to turn back. Yep, he's coming my way. We're going to take Glorious Victory here. Is there anything nifty in here? Nope, not really. Oh, there's Troll Bridge. Interesting. And then let's continue on up this way. Let's go get those dragons. Pack of dragons, but this is sorceress on sorceress action. I think that we win this fight. I think Silvia is going to absolutely win this fight. And that's what I'm excited for. Okay. Silvia, I am so sorry. This is totally not expected. What in the world? 0 attack, 0 defense, 2 spell power, 3 knowledge from Vitania. Folks, we've got 1 attack, 2 defense, 7 spell power, 8 knowledge, 4 morale, and 14 green dragons. Oh no. Okay, we're going to find a way to win. We're going to find a way to win. There's no choice in the matter. This has to be. 6-speed boars, if I could guarantee that they would attack the green dragons, I would potentially berserker them. I think you've got to steel skin the phoenixes because they have to survive. More than do damage, I think that they have to survive. In fact, I think you wait. This is tough. I'm gonna have to think about this for a second. Okay, let me get caught way back up on chat. Necromancy, not the crazy in Horn of the Abyss after the nerfs plus PvP rules enabled. Yep, totally Arcane Him. And I do like those changes. I think that Necromancy got a little bit out of hand, and a couple of quality changes actually goes a long way. It does. Stisen says, what? Green Dragon, Red Dragon, and Phoenix is better instead of Green, Red, and Black Dragon for tier 1, 2, and 3 subscriptions. I like that idea. That as a Sorceress player, Stisen, I understand where you're coming from. Bammy says, sub money goes like this. The user pays $5 a month. Twitch takes 50% cut out of that, if I recall. So you will technically get $2.50 a month for each tier 1 subscription. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know anything about it, so I will go with you on that. It sounds reasonable to me, and I'm glad that people know what they're getting into if they do a subscription or anything like that. So I'd feel really bad if you didn't know what you were getting yourself into. Eat Parade says, now you also need a custom subscribe animation and notification sound. Absolutely. I do have a follow sound and a follow animation, but I do need a subscription sound and animation now. So I will jump on that ASAP. Thank you. I'll absolutely do that. And then Vammy says, Red, Black Dragon, Phoenix, the Heroes 3 special. Heroes 3 special. Eat Parade says, subscriptions pay for your new internet fees at home so you can take care of the kids more easily while streaming. There you go. That's the idea. That sounds like a total plan to me. And then Stisen says, oh, dang it. Got to get the H2 Magic Spells tier list part 2 before you go live as a caveman with your new kid and all that. Yeah, we do need to do that part 2. We still need to re-record part 2. So there's a video in the works with Stisen where we talked about the spells in Heroes 2, and we still have part 2 to do. We did some of the spells, and then we have the rest of the spells to do next. The single effect use spells versus the persistent effect spells, they're very different. And so we needed to do it in 2 parts because otherwise things could get very muddy, very messy. And part 2 still needs to come out. We recorded it once. There was internet quality issues. There was like a storm going on at the time. In order to make sure we deliver a high quality product, we are going to re-record that at some point. And then Chris says, I use 4G dongle for my internet access and it's fast as fiber. Mind you, I live in an apartment on the top floor, so I get a good signal. Oh, so you're using like a hotspot from your phone kind of a deal? Is that what dongle is? I'm not too sure, but I'm interested in that. Oddskikov, maybe Starlink would do. What does it cost in the US compared to what I am assuming has to be old school copper wire? There's a lot of questions there and I just don't know the answer. There's a lot of places around me that are actually going into the Google Fiber. They've been putting in Google Fiber in some of the more affluent neighborhoods. I live kind of on the outskirts of town. I think that it's gonna be a while before we get some really high quality fiber optic into my area. But when it happens, I'm probably gonna go that route. In the meantime, Starlink I think is fairly cost efficient. I think I'm paying about $50 a month for internet right now. And I think that Starlink is 2 to 3 times that. But the quality, the speed is gonna be much better than what I have right now. It takes all night to upload a single video to YouTube. And sorry, sometimes I just don't have 18 hours to upload a video. I just don't. So, Stisen, you're right. I did use the Dimension Door. And look where it got me. Even Dimension Door might not be enough in this scenario to win, especially now that I've made this critical error. Borysser, well, my surname translates to Sparrow, like the most famous pirate, so I can be a Foxy Sparrow. You can totally be the Foxy Sparrow. I love that. That's a really cool surname. I like that. I really like that. That's awesome. Stisen, and then why do you think we disabled the darn 5th level guild in some of the towns, huh? So that way they didn't Dimension Door out? I don't know how I'm gonna win this scenario at this point. I really don't think I can. If I don't win this fight, I mean, obviously the scenario's over, but I don't know how to win this scenario. If they start off with dragons that quickly, Phoenixes are always gonna fall far behind. Mixing troops, Hydras, elves, druids. I don't know if there's a combination of forces between the warlocks and the sorceresses that can actually defeat green dragons from day 1. It's month 3, week 4, day 1. I've clearly wasted a lot of time here, but at this point there's like what, 30 to 40 dragons on this map at this point. Sheesh, that's a lot. And then let's see, the stream really makes Minecraft chest sorting a lot more bearable. Sammy, I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad that I get to be kind of in your background. That makes me happy. Rice Ruin is looking for that new emote. Absolutely. Yes. Looking forward to it. Give up the Sork Castle and snipe the Warlock Castle. I love that we have the same idea, the same plan. I didn't look at chat, but I'm glad that we're on the same page. I think that we've gotten to know each other's playstyle enough over time that I think you're absolutely right about that. Bammy says, if you think about it, sorceresses are the kind of all about nature and the forest and the like, and the necromancers are all against life and nature, turning lush green forests into dead lands. Going back to that conversation where Stisen says that he doesn't really like the necromancers, and that makes a lot of sense to me. I mean, I think that the necromancers should be the enemies of all. It's weird how in Heroes 3, the evil factions are the dungeon, the necromancers, and the inferno. But I think that the necromancers, I mean, they want the dungeon and the inferno just as dead as they want everybody else. It's not like they're evil, so they're going to team up against the rest of us. I wonder how often that ends up happening, though, in campaigns and things like that. Kind of interesting. And then, let's see, makes sense why they would be at odds. Stisen says, well, so you finally pay attention to the real threat on this map. And Silvia, no, yeah, I think that Silvia is in a rough position here. Vammy says, magic hero against high number of dragons? Sheesh. Yes, absolutely. And Chris says it's a mobile 4G enabled router so you can take it around with you. Unlimited data for £22 a month? That sounds awesome. I would love that. Jeez, I wonder if they have something like that. I'd be all for it. And then Rise to Ruin says, surrender and rush the lock castle. The objective is still possible. It's, unfortunately, Silvia is a lost condition. So if she loses this fight, we just lose the scenario. I think that I may abuse the autosave. I rarely do, but in this case, it feels like I do want to see a logical conclusion to this scenario rather than starting over from scratch at this point. So we're going to see how we can do this fight, but that might have to unfortunately be on the table in just a moment. And then Stisen says, my son paid attention. As I mentioned, how good you are at this game. He says, is he better than you, Dad? I want you to hear this right now. Your dad is better than Phixfox at Heroes Might and Magic 2. There's things that your dad does in Heroes 2 that Phixfox can never do, and that is not a bad thing. There's a lot of things I'm really, really good at. I got a lot of strengths, but I also have a lot of weaknesses, and your dad has different strengths and different weaknesses as well. So trust me when I say that I respect your father as a Heroes of Might and Magic 2 player, and I think that you should absolutely learn from him and love this game through the lens of him as your teacher and as your mentor and as your guide as you're traveling throughout the lands of Enroth. Yep, I agree with everything I just said there. Okay, his old man stood no chance on winning on this map. Let's see what we can do. Okay, no spells are going to affect the dragons. I think that Sealskin is the best first choice. I really do. Although, I mean, this is a lot of hit points worth of Hydras. This is damage. This is tankiness. I don't know who the dragons are going to want to fight. I don't know what spells Vitania is going to throw at me either. Curse is useless. There's a lot of useless spells here. It's got to be the Steel Skin. You got to protect the Phoenixes. I think I even skip with them first. I think I move them to right here. I think I move them to right here so that way the Hydras can potentially jump in front of them. Dispel magic on the Phoenixes. I don't hate that decision. I really don't. I am going to use the Gargoyles to go defeat these sprites. It feels like they could play spoiler in a way that I don't really like. Veteran Pikemen, just avoid the double Hex Flame Breath attack. And I'm very scared to figure out who these dragons are going to fight. Who do they go for? They do go for the Phoenixes. 4 Phoenixes perish. That is going to put us in a position where we can fight the dragons with the Hydras, though. It may be the play. It might be the best decision to actually use the Hydras with a, where is it? Dragon Slayer. They're going to be tanky enough anyway. 6 to 12 damage. I don't love this. But we're going to unfortunately have to take the hit here from the Phoenixes on the retaliation. I got to get the damage off. Bad morale feels kind of rough. At least the Veteran Pikemen get to go in there. And War Trolls. Should I step away? I think I do. I think I step away with the War Trolls. Disrupting Ray on the Hydras I think is a great decision on their part, and I'm really mad that they did that. The bad morale is potentially too much to deal with. That is absolutely critically important. Steel Skin on the Hydras, maybe that's the best thing. Counteract the one, Disrupting Ray. No, we need damage. We need damage. As soon as possible, as much as possible, we do need damage. We're going to step the Veteran Pikemen out of the way. This is not good. We're going to wait to cast a spell. We're going to see what spell they end up casting. but the trolls are going to do full damage, which is not too bad. Gargoyles are going to take this hit. We're going to kill one more dragon. We are down to 10 green dragons. Veteran pikemen are stepping again out of the way. Full damage from the war trolls. I don't know if Dragon Slayer increases. It just says attack skill. Just says attack skill. So ranged or melee damage. I think we're going to 7 to 9 damage. 6 to 12, 9 attack versus 11. So there's more chances at least doing not bonus damage, but average damage here. But the Hydras are going to last for longer. I think that we still do Dragon Slayer on the Hydras when it's their turn. We don't kill one dragon. 18 down to 8. Not good. Not good, folks. It's over. And this is what cheaters get. This is what people that use Dimension Door get. You run into this issue where you are going to rely on it and then you're not going to win the game. We will surrender for 4,700 gold. But as you will see, as we depart in shame, that's still going to be the end of the scenario because it's our lost condition. Silvia cannot lose. The nice thing is that we do still have the opportunity to abuse the autosave one time. Will Vitania attack us again? I don't know. I think that she should. Last time she did not. Let's see if she does. If she does attack us, then we just lose. But if she does not, like she does there, we will play on. We will avoid this fight. And folks, let's go find those dragons. Silvia, we're going to move forward. We are going to do our very, very best to win this scenario, despite Phixfox's major, major struggles. Looks like up this road is where the warlocks do reside, and we are going to be able to get here just in time, just on day one here. Glorious victory. And let's hold on. Hold on to your hats, folks. Okay. He's back. He's back, folks. He's back. 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 It's a happy reunion, folks. The man, the myth, the legend. Sir, it is a pleasure to have you back with us. I am thrilled for this. Wonderful. Okay, Maune is back. Maune the Warlock, level 7. Thrilled that he's gotten to be with us again before the end of the scenario. I was worried we would not see him again. So, thrilled that we have some opportunities here. Okay, alrighty. Let me get caught up on chat. There's a lot that's just happened. Okay, let's see. High numbers, my son paid attention. Okay, in Heroes Might Magic 3, Vammy says, the faction alignments are kind of fan-on and not much else. In ROE, for example, the Dungeon and the Inferno are allied, but Necromancers is their own kind of dish and have different storylines. In Armageddon's Blade, the Inferno and Dungeon have their own unique quest lines as well, so the factions are really more distinct than is immediately apparent. And that's good information for me to have. I've mentioned that, you know, I know the Lord of Warcraft, for example. Having never played the Might and Magic series, which has come very highly recommended to me, I do not know all the lore for the Heroes of Might and Magic world, and that's something that I'm still very, very much looking forward to. As soon as I can, Might and Magic is on the table. I do want to get into that series as quickly as possible. But if you are a lore master for Heroes of Might and Magic 1, 2, 3, and beyond, I would love it if you actually reached out to me. I would love to do a video. I haven't seen a video on YouTube that anyone has done kind of explaining the lore of Heroes of Might and Magic, and I think that that would be a wonderful video to do. It'd be kind of more of a journalistic type of video that I would do, but I think that would be very interesting. If you're the kind of person that can help me fill in some serious gaps, let me know. Contact me, and I'd love to pick your brain on that. Stisen 1 says, died to purple player 4 times in a row. Didn't get to play more than 3 weeks myself before the stream started. Stisen also says that he'll love to see your snakes eat those green dragons, the prettiest ones, according to him. Arcane Hymn says, disrupting Ray with the dragon stack by your side is juicy. Disrupting Ray with a dragon stack by your side is juicy. Absolutely, Arcane. Yeah, as soon as those Hydras got Disrupting Raid, I was just like, no, there's no chance. You're going to do even more bonus damage. That's 30% bonus damage on top of what you were already doing. Yeah, that's too hot to handle for me. And then Phix, we've talked about this. Dragon Slayer increases the attack skill by 5, no matter range or melee. You're right. I said 6, didn't I? And then I wondered if it was ranged or melee, so thank you. And then pay attention outside the new town. He's back in business. Bammy says Restoration of Arathia and Armageddon's Blade are both Heroes 3 campaigns, though not Might and Magic. True. Very true. I haven't played Might and Magic. I do believe, as I've been told, that there is much of the story there still present though. And I'm intrigued to find out what more of that story is. Okay, Dr. Cruel is coming. We've got a couple of dragons. We're gonna end up dancing away with the Dimension Door. But at least this time we're going to increase our forces with dragons instead of these other forces, instead of phoenixes. Yeah, it's pretty necessary, I think. We're just gonna Dimension Door into this safe area here with some paladins. It's weird that paladins feel safe. Oh, I missed this whole section. And these stone liths, where do they take you? Down here? We gotta go north. We gotta go through this throng of archers. We gotta go through these paladins. Let's lose anybody but phoenixes. Paladins are super tough, very offensive. With their 2 hits, they can be pretty good. We do have Elemental Storm now. That's kind of nifty. And then Mass Haste and Mass Slow. Not good against dragons, but it's going to be good against everybody else. Wow, our morale is truly bad, isn't it? Gonna have to figure out what to do there. And overall, how would I do the scenario differently? At this point, I'm just trying to complete it, right? Generally, I would prefer, of course, to not use Dimension Door. I'd prefer not to kind of cheese the opponent. I'd prefer not to use the reloads. We have, because I do want to get this scenario completed. What would I do differently? That's a really important question, and I don't really know the answer. As we do lose 1 green dragon, geez. The Phoenixes losing their turn was actually kind of a big deal. I think that you do have to get a quick start. I think you might have to hope that Dr. Cruel doesn't immediately take out your Phoenixes in the bottom right. I think that you need those Phoenixes. Yeah. And the fact that there's some variation in the map isn't necessarily or inherently bad. Variation's okay. Folks, look at this. This was not anticipated as we lose that castle back. We now actually have an opportunity. I didn't realize that this artifact was here. And the losses here are going to be fine because +5 attack. This is going to go pretty well for us, I think. I think this is going to be fine. Let's just do a mass slow. Skip. I don't know why I skipped on my war trolls. That was clearly a mistake. But we did set ourselves up for a nice double hex attack. Plenty of phoenixes are moving, grooving, having a real cool time. And we are going to lose 1 phoenix there. Hopefully not another. Yeah, 2 phoenixes are going to go down in this fight. That is unfortunate. And nice to see that the morale is actually not as bad as it has been for us. Weird how from fight to fight, it totally is random whether or not the poor morale is going to reach out and bite you or not. In this case, though, that fight went very, very well. A troll stops you and says, "Pay me 5,000 gold or the sword of Andrin will slay you where you stand." You refuse. The troll grabs the sword hanging from its belt, screams in pain, and runs away. Picking up the fabled sword, you give thanks that the half-witted trolls tend to grab the wrong end of sharp objects. That's going to be +5 to our attack skill. I'm thrilled for that. We have the Red Traveler's Tent here, which I am all for. Okay, once again, we're going to end up Dimension Dooring over here, picking up dragons. We can't be in 2 places at once. We can't get dragons and phoenixes. If we could find a way to do that, I sure would. But I would rather keep dragons. I would rather keep dragons away from the enemy than anything else. So I don't think that there's much else for my other heroes to do. There's no windmills. There's no water wheels. We're just kind of waiting. There's some free resources, but I don't think it's that useful at the moment. We're level 14. I guess that defeating enemies for experience isn't too bad, but I also don't want to lose any additional forces. We've got a plan here. I don't know how well it's going to work out, but eventually we should be able to move forward. I don't know. Folks, I'm going to have to admit defeat. I'm going to have to admit defeat. I'm looking at a couple of factors here. Number 1, we are eventually with this strategy going to win, right? Eventually we will win this scenario because if we Dimension Door back and forth and we get all the dragons we need and want, we will eventually overwhelm our opponent. The amount of time that that's going to take, especially knowing that the enemy is going to get stronger with phoenixes, is a long, long time. I'm not going to subject you to that. Could I win this scenario from this point? Absolutely. Would it take an excruciatingly long time? Absolutely it would. And for that reason, knowing that I'm using the Dimension Door to make this happen, which I usually don't, I'm going to have to admit defeat. I've lost this scenario. I take solace in the fact that I've reunited the siblings. I take great solace in that fact. And in fact, at this point, I could just declare a stalemate because I think that the enemy does not have a way through this blue barrier. And so we shall live peacefully adjacent to one another. The yellow warlocks and us, the red sorceresses, we shall live in peace and harmony and just never speak of each other ever again. And we will have an Eric's the Jerk type of situation where occasionally smells of sulfur and gross things waft over the mountains, but we will ignore it. And we will not be upset and try and defeat our foes because unfortunately, we simply will never be able to. Well, we could, but it's going to be so long of a time that I'm going to admit defeat on this scenario. Again, it took reloads, it took Dimension Door. This is not a Phixfox win. I'm going to humbly say that Phixfox has been bested by this user-created map. Stisen's kids, well done. I love this map. This is a beautifully designed, well done map, and I think that there's going to be opportunities on a third playthrough to do much better than I did. I do think that a faster start and being able to defeat Dr. Cruel earlier is actually going to go a long, long way. But for now, I will admit defeat. I'm going to call it and throw my olive branch out for the enemy to take, and that's going to be the end of that. Okay. Let's actually have the siblings go back. I feel like I need an epilogue. I feel like I need to know if Stisen's kids feel like this is a good end to the scenario or not. I'm sure that they of course wanted to see a victory here. I'm sure everybody likes to see victories, but more than having a victory every time, I think it's nice to know that Phixfox loses. And you've seen every single one of my losses on camera, and this is definitely going to be one, and there's no shame in that. So let me see what they think on the matter. Let's see. Stisen's been looking up fan-made articles about the lore of Might and Magic 1 through 5. Okay, I'm looking forward to getting that from you. Thank you very, very much. Science fiction and dark age fairy tale crazy mix. Looking forward to that. Arcane Hymn says you can still win this with Dimension Door. I can absolutely still win this with Dimension Door. I think it's going to take a long, long time is the issue. And unfortunately, I should probably be going sooner rather than later. Thankfully, I get the opportunity to go travel and see some family. This has been a little bit longer of a playthrough than I originally planned on, but I will return another day, not with this map in particular, but with another map. But today, I think I'm going to have to throw in the towel and call it a day. So I appreciate the encouragement there. Thank you very, very much, Arcane Hymn. Stisen says, where is Dr. Evil at? Dr. Cruel is right over here. He's got lots of dragons there. There's lots of dragons everywhere. Several phoenixes, tons of creatures here, tons of creatures there. I mean, there's creatures everywhere. Oh my goodness. So it'd be way too long. I'm not going to subject you to all that. So incredibly well done map. Rise to Ruin says, absolutely. Give these kids their laurels. They've deserved it. I never would have guessed that this was made by anybody other than a professional player or a developer. Great job to Stisen's kiddos. Absolutely. And then we're going to call it a draw. Borysser says, I'm all for that. Thank you. Rise to Ruin says, my favorite part is the beautiful tree lines. I love the beautiful tree lines. They are so good looking. This is a well done map. It feels engaging to play through this map. More so than I feel like I could make a map like this. So I'm a big fan of this. Well done. Well done. Chris says, see you later. Thanks for the stream. Thank you, Chris. Big fan of you. Appreciate you being here. Stisen says, thanks, Rise to Ruin. My son gets inspiration from Minecraft. He is a master builder when it comes to creating maps in other games as well. Let's see. Judo has followed us. Thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate it. I'm a big fan. Thank you for spending the time. You've caught us here at the very, very end of this game, but it's been a fun one. Vammy says, thanks for the stream. Thank you, Vammy. And thank you to everybody here that spent the time. Again, thank you for helping me through Growing Pains. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next one. I'm planning on streaming on Monday or Tuesday. I'm going to have a little bit of extra time off. I'm going to try and do that sometime in the morning. So rather than wait until next week, I'm shooting for a Monday or a Tuesday. If you want to have more information about when I'm going to stream, that information will be available on the Discord. Until that time, folks, look after you, look after your friends, look after your family. I appreciate every single person here. I'm having so much fun, and I can't wait to see you for the next one. Look after you, friends and family. Take good care. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for the stream. Math Obsessed, E-Parade, Lord Shadowing, Vammy, etc., etc. Oh, Lord Shadowwing saying want to raid out. Is there somebody to raid? I've never done that before. Rice, Arcane Hymn says, thanks for the stream. Take care. Rice Ruin, take care of everybody. Math Obsessed, thanks for the stream. Oddskikov, thanks. Great crowd, great host. Thank you all. Yeah, let me see if I can actually do that. I'm going to end the recording here.